Tell me what to do. Show me how to feel under your control. Everything is real, so hit me. So hit me. So hit me. First a confession. With you, I feel a connection. With you, it's like an infection. I've been infected with an obsession. With you, never any tension. Nothing but love and affection. Enough of my case, so let's cut to the chase. Listen up, cause these are the directions. Obey what I say, don't complain, I don't wanna hear questions. Follow my lead, time to fall to your knees. It's an order, it's not a suggestion. I'm about to teach you a lesson. I recommend you pay attention. This is my kingdom, you're stripped of all freedom. You want nothing but my possession. Head back, hands tied, mouth shut, eyes wide. Baby, I'm yours. I said, baby, I'm yours. Whatever you say, go. Nobody needs to know. Whatever you say, go. Control. So hit me. So for the remainder, you were about to get chained up. If ever you feel you're in danger, just say the safe word, I won't get angered. Now, I'm done being playful. I promise that I keep it tasteful. So lay on the table, cause this is about to get painful. Open up wide, I'm going inside. You're not going nowhere until the sunrise. I love when you scream, I know what it means. That's why we make a good team, but never a witness. How we get off is nobody's business, is it? So it's funny how nobody knows how much you love being under control. Tell me what to do. Show me how to feel. Show me how to feel. Under your control. Under your control. Everything is real. Whatever you say, go. Nobody needs to know. Whatever you say, go. I'm under your control. So hit me. Nothing but love and affection. So hit me. Nothing but love and affection. So hit me. Head back, hands tied. Mouth shut, eyes wide. Baby, I'm yours. I said, baby, I'm yours. Whatever you say, go. Nobody needs to know. Whatever you say, go. I'm under your control. Whatever you say, go. To know. Whatever you say, go. I'm under your control. So hit me. Tell me what to do. Show me how to feel under your control. Everything is real, so hit me. So hit me. So hit me. First a confession. With you, I feel a connection. With you, it's like an infection. I've been infected with an obsession. With you, never any tension. Nothing but love and affection. Enough of my case, so let's cut to the chase. Listen up, cause these are the directions. Obey what I say, don't complain, I don't wanna hear questions. Follow my lead, time to fall to your knees. It's an order, it's not a suggestion. I'm about to teach you a lesson. I recommend you pay attention. This is my kingdom, you're stripped of all freedom. You want nothing but my possession. Head back, hands tied, mouth shut, eyes wide, baby, I'm yours. I said, baby, I'm yours. Whatever you say, go. Nobody needs to know. Whatever you say, go. I'm under your control. So hit me, so for the remainder, you were about to get chained up. If ever you feel you're in danger, just say the safe word, I won't get angered. Now, I'm done being playful. I promise that I keep it tasteful. So, lay on the table, cause this is about to get painful. Open up wide, I'm going inside. You're not going nowhere until the sunrise. I love when you scream, I know what it means. That's why we make a good team. But never a witness. How we get off is nobody's business, is it? So it's funny how nobody knows how much you love being under control. Tell me what to do. Show me how to feel. Show me how to feel. Under your control. Under your control. Everything is real. Whatever you say, go. Nobody needs to know. Whatever you say, go. I'm under your control. So hit me. Nothing but love and affection. So hit me. Nothing but love and affection. So hit me. Head back, hands tied. Mouth shut, eyes wide, baby, I'm yours. I said, baby, I'm yours. Whatever you say, go. Nobody needs to know. Whatever you say, go. I'm under your control. Whatever you say, go. Nobody needs to know. Whatever you say, go. I'm under your control. So hit me.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. Well, heck. Well, heck, Trouz. What the heck?
Well, heck.
What the heck?
What the heckin' about?
I don't know. What the heckin' about? I don't know. But I tell you what we're not gonna be what the heckin' about. And I'll tell you as well, chat. We're not gonna be heckin' about Zelda today. Ain't no hacks.
I knew you were. I knew you were going there, and I still fucking laughed.
Listen. Tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight we're gonna have an absolutely fantastic night, and we're gonna be talking about all things Zelda. How exciting is that?
Yeah. Who here loves Zelda? Show of hands.
I know I don't. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. I'm here to hate on it. I'm here to hate on it completely.
That fucking garbage series. No, but no.
I'm gonna tell you guys how much we. No, I'm just kidding.
But in all seriousness, though, we are going to have an absolute fantastic time because we also are bringing in a special guest who is all things Zelda herself. She absolutely loves Zeldas, and the first time that I introduced her to a Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer just blew her mind that she could once again play her favorite game, one of her favorite games, and not get bored of it and have like a fresh thing happen every single time she plays it. You know who we're all talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I want you all to. You think?
Maybe.
It's Midge. We knew it.
Oh fuck! We should have known.
But we are actually talking about MajoralyBrii, who is a big fanatic of Zelda games. So Bree, come on in. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
There she is.
I is here. Hello.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how goes it, Bree?
That was a great introduction. I was making faces like at myself, like nobody can see me though. Fine.
Oh, we have 8-Bit in chat too. Hi 8-Bit, good evening. Welcome on in.
Oh, it's an 8-Bit.
It's an 8-Bit.
So, before we do get into all things Zelda though, I just wanted to let you guys know that Trouz had finished his wonderful playthrough of Paper Mario's Google translated thousands of doors. And let me tell you, I was excited because I wanted to start getting into practicing with video editing, and I think I'm comfortable enough to make some announcements tonight, if I may. First off, I did finish the first episode of Trouz's Thousands of Doors. We did go into an editing process, how we did with our Donkey Kong Country playthroughs. So you can find the first episode, the prologue, Welcome to Pain, over on Trouz's YouTube video, or Trouz's YouTube channel, sorry. You can find him at DJ Trouz.
Yeah, I'm gonna post the link here in my chat. Bam.
You're welcome to post on mine too if you want to. I'm okay with that.
All right, cool. Let me grab it.
I mean, I would hope so. You never know.
I know. God, here I am shouting everybody out and be like, "No, don't touch my channel."
It's not your channel. No.
No, don't do that.
Bad.
Bad.
I am a good
Quit
portion.
being a big stinky.
I am a good portion of editing episode 1, and let me tell you guys, I am fucking peeing myself laughing just trying to get through this editing process.
It is a wild ass ROM hack.
I cannot wait to show episode or chapter 1 to everybody. So be on the lookout for chapter 1, Dragon City, coming soon to you.
Oh shit!
It's gonna be so fucking awesome.
And
Oh man, I can't wait for it at all. It's gonna be awesome. What are you saying?
And then, just to kind of seal up my announcements for the evening, I'm deciding that I'm going to probably go into a side gig of doing video editing a little more publicly once I do finish Thousands of Doors. So, I talked to everybody and I decided that I'm probably going to be doing like a $50 per video editing process. So, we'll kind of see how it goes from there. We'll kind of see what everybody thinks and kind of go from there for everything. So,
hell yeah, dude, that's awesome.
that's what I got.
Fucking good shit. I can attest to his editing. It's really funny. I gave him the reins and he really did well. So.
Oh, I can't wait! I can't wait for you to see chapter 1. Though, like, it's so good.
Just the little bit that he's like showed me while he's been editing is great. It is amazing.
It's such a cool project.
I mean, it's the game itself is funny, and then the way you like voice your characters and stuff just makes it like 10,000 times better. So it's just all around gonna be great.
Yeah, I tried my best to give everybody unique voices in it. So there's a lot. There's like at least 20 different voices I do.
I don't know how you do it because I can barely do it. The best one I am is Tattle in Majora's Mask because she is sassy as fuck, and that is 100% me.
There you go. There's a role made for you there.
Trouz, I gotta say, do you remember when I was going through Bug Fables and I gave that fucking night guy the voice?
Yeah.
You're not worried
Oh my
about
god. It's so funny to me. Oh, it's so like over the top triumphant. You know, like he knows.
Go to the honeycomb to find the key.
He knows he's a royal knight, and he isn't afraid to make himself sound like so. It's great.
Anyways, so here we are.
I need to get into voice acting. I feel that I've done a good amount. Like I've done a couple voice acting gigs here and there. A bit with one of our friends, Scotty. He does what do you call it? Audio dramas. So I played as the Joker in one of them. So I've done a little practice.
How long ago was this?
It was. I'm currently on part 3, and I've done 3 parts of it so far. I don't know how many parts it's gonna be, but they're on YouTube. No, not quite yet. I think they're still being edited down more. But
it's gonna be 5,764 parts.
Can you voice Joker that long?
So I've done a little bit of voice acting on that.
Where's my goddamn electric car, Bruce?
I think the voice I did for the Joker is essentially the one I did for Grodan. Hello, my name's the Joker. I'm Grodan, you know?
Oh my.
That was scary.
Yeah, that's the voice I went with.
Well, I can't wait to hear that.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely let you know whenever that comes out officially.
Absolutely. Be sure to share it in the announcements. Or announcements, or your the content self-promo, That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
Be exciting.
I appreciate it a bit. Alright, anything else we want to talk about before we get into the juicy details of Zelda?
Nope. So I think we're gonna split this apart in some various segments tonight. So I think tonight we're gonna kind of go down the list and discuss the general likeness / dislikeness in very kinder words of some Zelda games. Yeah. So I kind of was thinking about this. How do we want to do this? Do we want to do this by when the game released or by timeline?
Could be interesting to do timeline, even though I'm not quite familiar on all the games and where they go, but
well, that's why you have your old pal Winter here Googling it right now with our magical wish box.
The magical wish box.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we're gonna go based on timeline, the first game that we would start, so it starts based off of the ancient battle which proceeds before the first game that we should talk about is Legend of Zelda: The Skyward Sword. This is the game that originates in the timeline. So, Skyward Sword being that one where you're all up in the clouds and you fly some dragon thing, flap.
It's called a Loftwing. Thank you. And Lynx is a Never mind. Crimson. There we go.
It's a croissant.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
He's a croissant.
He's a croissant.
I should probably mention here, we're probably going to talk spoilers, right?
Yes, we are. There are going to be a lot of spoilers. So just forewarning on everybody. This is how it's going to be. I'm sorry.
Spoiler alert.
Anyways, I started playing Skyward Sword. I never finished it. I think I got through, I want to say 3 dungeons before I put it down, and I never picked it up. But well, let me tell you, there were some good moments in this one. And I still have, I think, one of my favorite moments still clipped on Twitch. With I think the main bad guy just popping up right next to Link and his tongues out, and I'm just like, oh god.
Girahim with his tongue.
I don't think you've played any of Skyward Sword, have you, Trouz?
I have watched many playthroughs of it, so I've kind of played it with my eyeballs. That's going to be a common theme with some of these Zeldas. I've played it with my eyeballs.
With your eyeballs. That's fair.
So,
I mean, it makes logical sense.
yeah, I've seen so many playthroughs that I'll remember quite a bit, but not all the details, you know what I mean? But key moments and dungeons and whatnot. So
yeah,
I might be able to keep up with some conversation here.
One thing that I'm kind of glad that I never had to deal with as of yet, because I don't think I ever got that far into the game, was dealing with that blob monster that was trying to get into one of the temples, so you had to fight 4 separate times. I think
4 separate times.
I think Bree knows what I'm talking about.
Lobbies.
The yeah, it's right there. I know exactly what you're. Yeah, it's right there.
Come on, this isn't Mind the Gap.
God damn it! Well, it should be. Hold on. Let me think about it.
We need to look at the Magic Wish Box.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, Magic Wish Box, tell us the answers. What is the name of the bad guys in Home Alone? What is the name of the bad guys in Home Alone? That's Skyward Sword. We know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, we know. I've played the game many times. It's
Demise.
actually yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Demise.
Because you fight different versions of him. So the first time he's got no arms, he's just got the little toesies that you have to hit off. And then the next time I believe the next time he grows the arms.
Oh no, that's not Demise. It's the imprisoned. That guy.
Oh yeah, that weird bean monster dragon.
I mean, the imprisoned is Demise. It's just the lesser version of Demise because.
Okay. Well, see, I initially
the imprisoned turns into Demise because the imprisoned was Demise. When you're down on the land, you're in the past, or that he was put down into that thing in the past, and so when he comes out each time, he's getting stronger. So initially, at the end of the game, when you finally face Demise, that is his strongest form.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think I remember there being 3 times you fight the bean monster guy, and then he becomes the big badass later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Skyward Sword is one of my favorites. It's in my top 5. I like the story behind it.
I enjoyed the story. I just wish I could have finished it.
It is a very long game, and I really feel like with that game, if you wouldn't have had to go back to each section again, like, you go back like 3 times to each section. If they would have, like, branched out a little bit more and made more, like, sections to go to, it would have made it a lot more enjoyable to finish the whole game, because it is a very long game.
Yeah, I've seen my buddy Tuba play it, and he said, "Oh no, we're coming back here again." I remember clearly, like, I hate this place.
Yeah. My thing is, the third time going back to each place just felt unnecessary to me. Like, so you go back to, like, the lava area for the third time, and you get, like, hit by the moblins, goblins, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Moblin goblins.
Yeah, moblin goblins. And they take away all your stuff. So you have to, like, sneak through, like, this maze type thing to get all your stuff back. That just felt like not as much a part of the game as it should have been. Because you get, like, 4 of your items, and then they send you to a chest that gives you the rest of all your items. Like, if they were going to do that, they should have made you work for each and every single item that you had. Instead of giving you, like, 4 and then, oh, here's your whole, adventure pouch back.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the things I noticed about the game from people playing it was some of the mechanics were a little weird, and, like, the way you said backtracking happens a lot. But one of the few things I can appreciate about it is what it did for the lore of the series, for sure. There's a lot of cool things in it.
It brought a lot of good lore. The mechanics, I think, are better on the Switch because you have that option to do motion controls or button controls. I've played both. So I played it on the Wii initially because that's what I owned it for, obviously, when it first came out. And then I did both the motion controls and the button controls on the Switch. I had a profile for each one. And I prefer motion controls just because that's the way I remember the game being played initially. But the button controls are really good for people who are used to button-controlled Zelda games.
Yeah.
Because
I forgot about the Switch version.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
That's the first time I got to play it.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is the one that overshadowed it, pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Like, once, like, people knew that Tears of the Kingdom were coming out, it was over for Skyward Sword. Like, they're like, Skyward Sword's on the back burner now. We gotta prepare for Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't know, I forgot something, but I guess it wasn't important. If it wasn't important, it shouldn't have been remembered anyways.
Exactly.
So
I will say that Groose, hands down, one of my favorite Zelda characters. I fucking love Groose. His pompadour and just his attitude. Oh my god, chef's kiss.
He does grow a lot throughout the game, which is cool.
Wasn't he like asshole at the start of the game? He was like bullies Link.
Yeah, so he's the one that bullies Link. He hides his loft wing, so he cannot do the, like, ceremony, but Link obviously is amazing and ends up finding it. And then he gets mad at Link because, Zelda fell through the clouds and all that. And then eventually he actually drops down with Link and, is brought to the land, the sealed grounds where Impa is. And that's when his character development starts to change. And he helps you in an imprisoned battle. He, like, not per se falls in love with Impa, but, like, loves Impa and doesn't want to leave her. And so he wants to stay on the ground. And he fully matures through the game. At the end of the game, when you're getting ready to fight Demise, he is helping you. Like, he's helping Zelda. He's telling you, like, cheering you on from the sidelines. Like, he's an asshole that develops into, like, one of the most mature characters in the series.
You don't see that a lot in Zelda games.
I know.
That's weird.
That's why I love him so much.
Yeah, that's a really. I like the character development for sure with him.
And as time further moves on, it looks like, during Skyward Sword, it's like the era of the world's creation, era of Goddess Hylia, the sky area, and then it moves on to the era of chaos, where the sealed realm is sealed, the era of prosperity and Hyrule Kingdom was established, moving to the forced era with their next game, the Minish Cap.
Never played that one.
You never played that one? What about you, Bree?
I've played it once.
You guys have like full access to this game, like.
I also
I know this for sure, but my mind has been on all these other games because it's been a fucking ginormous, it's ginormous 10 months of gaming.
It has been a mighty fruitful year. I will admit that has been a mighty fruitful year.
It really has. It's one of my games on my list to play this year on stream. So,
my personal opinion, I enjoyed Minish Cap. I thought that was a really good game, and the first time I actually wound up watching it, I watched it before I played it myself, and it was a YouTuber. He was a young YouTuber. He was getting very big very quickly, and I think that caused him to just get very disheartened by YouTubing, because I think the audience just got too big too fast for him. But when I watched him play through this, he actually hired a special voice actor to voice the hat, the bird hat, whatever the fuck it was. So and he hired this really cool British guy, and that was such a treat to watch the entire playthrough with that.
That's pretty cool. I heard that's the only really thing I know about the game is it's a bird hat.
Bird hat.
Yeah, bird hat.
Bird hat.
His name is Bird Hat.
Bird.
Bird is the sorry.
It's
Bambi,
So
bird.
We're watching Polly now.
Maybe. God.
All right. What is that? Bird. I haven't watched Polly in forever. I need to watch that movie again. So obviously not much to talk about Minish Cap, and there's obviously not going to be much to talk about. The next game that goes down into the Force era is the Four Swords. Now, let me tell you, if you did not have friends, you got fucked out of playing this game.
Yeah, I never got to play it because I attempted to play it by myself, and no, you can't.
I think what game was it? I know that they tried re-releasing it to where you could play. No, that was Four Swords Adventures, I think, if I remember right. It was on the GameCube, and you had to have a Game Boy in order to explore caves.
Yeah.
Play it by yourself. I did that. I played through that game. That was a lot of fun. That was a treat.
I thought that was the one you were talking about. I didn't know there was two.
Yeah, because it originally started with when they released Link to the Past to the Game Boy. You had that other game, which was the Four Swords Adventures. But if you didn't have 3 other people who own the exact same cartridge, exact same game, etc., you could not play it. You were not allowed to play it unless you had 3 friends.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
They weren't thinking. They were thinking too heavy about the gimmick and not enough about the practicality.
Well, I think they were also aiming toward there's a bunch of these kids living in the high cities and stuff like that, and I mean it's not always the case that everybody lives in a city. I grew up on a fucking farm, okay? Hello.
And it's not always
rural red panda.
And it's not always the case that people have friends. Sometimes I just don't want to deal with people. Okay,
I don't want to deal with people.
I'm a nerd. I want to just hide in my room and play video games all day. Okay,
you're like Four Swords Adventures, more like One Sword Adventures.
Yeah, exactly.
More like One Sword Adventure. Jesus.
That could be taken a couple different ways. So.
Yeah, I was not gonna go there, but Trouz decided to go there.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Trouz is a family fucking friendly show here. Come on now.
The family fucking friendly.
Okay, well if it was family friendly, then I shouldn't be here. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they'll get over it.
Exactly.
Don't get over it. It's fine.
I'm crazy. Y'all invited a crazy person.
Okay. Then further on down the timeline, oh god, we're going to talk a lot about this one, I feel like. The era of the Hero of Time, the child/adult era. This is where the Hyrule Unification War happens. The Sacred Realm becomes the Dark World. Ganondorf turns into the Demon King Ganon. Ocarina of Time.
Oh boy.
So let's talk about that.
I still have yet to play it.
Okay.
Wait, I can't tell if you're serious or if you're
No, I don't think he has actually played it.
I haven't.
Trouz, what are you doing with your life? What the fuck?
You know, this is one of those ones that I played with my eyeballs.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I'm sure he watches. I'm sure he's watched a lot of our randomizers too to kind of get the rough idea about the game.
Yeah, I've seen I've seen at least 10 different YouTubers play it all the way through. I've seen streamers stream it. I've seen y'all rando it. So like, I have a good familiarity of the places that you go and some of the stuff that happens in it. So
now
I do know a good
Yeah.
Like I'd say my knowledge is about 60% there.
Okay, I'll give you that, because there are a lot of games that I've only played with my eyeballs, so.
Yeah.
too. It's because I'm a broke bitch.
Exactly.
Sometimes I just need to watch the game and make sure that is it worth my time to purchase.
Exactly. Because I don't want to purchase it and then it be like a terrible game.
And
A lot of the time, that's how I am too. But there's some games where you just know for certain this is the one. I'm gonna fucking get it.
I know.
Oh,
I watch
God,
all
yeah.
these games and I watched the game, so I'm just like, I don't want to buy it now. I've watched it. I beat it.
I don't want to buy it now. Fuck it.
This is probably my second Zelda game ever played in life. Is it my favorite? By far, no. It is not my favorite. However, it is my favorite to play with others.
Agreed.
There has been, oh my god. So for everybody who loves Ocarina of Time, Bree here actually is like trying to get her YouTube started up as well. She records our sessions for Ocarina of Time Randomizer. And oh my god, if you ever feel like that you have a night where you just absolutely need to pee yourself, go to her channel.
It is great. Currently, the series going is the Zelda Ocarina of Time Randomizer Bingo. And Winter, he is so comical with the things that happens to him. I go back and watch them and I pee myself. When I am sitting there like editing my videos for it, I piss myself, and then Anthony will come down. Why are you laughing? What's so funny? And then I'm showing him and he's like, oh, I don't get it. And I'm like,
Of course you wouldn't.
I'm like, you wouldn't because you don't know Zelda, okay?
Like, right now, they've just gotten past the part, Trouz, where I don't know, was it you, Bree, who was turning in the Rudo's letter? And I just started going off like, that's my letter!
Turned in Rudo's letter.
Bitch Rudo's letter! Fucking bitch with her car insurance doesn't know how to park a fucking whale!
Yes! Biddy actually clipped it. It's actually posted in our clips. It's she called it the daughter's extended warranty. Because of the Winter had me cracking up. Like I can't get I played in it and I cannot get through without laughing at the random shit. And like a lot of the times like I don't fully like 100% listen to these guys when we're playing. So when I go back and edit the video, I'm like, oh my god, he said that?
That's great. I love it. You reminded me of Jonah Jameson right now, Winter, and you were talking like that. You're like, I'm just pictures of Spider-Man.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Get a fucking whale.
when I get done with homework for the week, I am gonna go in and edit our video that we actually had Chaotic on. I'm finally getting to that, which is hilarious. It was one that we didn't finish because I think I made that seed and it was jacked the fuck up.
It was.
And so we didn't finish it, but there was a lot of great moments. So it's gonna be like a mishap video that's gonna go up. So I'm gonna just put like the really funny moments as the video. It was a great night. Randomizers are so fun. Like I laughed till my chest hurts, till my stomach hurts, my jaw will hurt the next day.
See, I've had fun with my DK64 randomizer quite a bit, but that's another topic, so I won't get into it.
I definitely would like to try a DK randomizer. Like, just remembering our DK randomizer that we had with DPG. Oh my fucking god, I still laugh my ass off just remembering.
I just was losing my mind at some point, and I just started talking like randomly with like voices.
You got yourself a bottle of grease.
Hey, bruv, I gotta share this bottle of grease here, mate. A little punch, a little package, mate.
I still have yet to finish DK64. I know I started it.
Though, like...
I started it on stream. I think it was during charity month because Trouz was watching because he was really excited for me to play it, and I don't think I ever got around to finishing it.
I do have a cool thing, like the randomizer they have now has a mode called Vanilla but Better, and I recommend playing it that way. But yeah, definitely check it out whenever you get the chance. It's super fun.
We'll have to get a night together to do that, Trouz. I definitely want to try it out, but I don't want to do it alone. I would rather have like somebody there with me to kind of like
definitely
guide me through it for the first time and kind of see.
No, not
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing like my own harder version of a seed while you guys do the vanilla, but it's better. So it's like refamiliarizing the game.
Like, there's so much that I want to like learn to do. Like, we've gotten better. We've eventually learned how to do multi-world Zeldas, where like all of our items are scattered across each other's worlds. Like we don't get our own worlds, but we have to like work together to try to find each other's items. I want to take it a step up. I know that sounds stupid, but hear me out. I have seen
even further beyond.
I have seen like scenarios where somebody would mix like Super Mario 64 with Zelda, and it would like mix up the items between worlds. So like, I could potentially get fucked because Brii, or like even if 8-bit was on this, I could potentially be fucked because they might have like the switch to activate my metal cap or my invisible cap.
Oh shit.
So, and they would like
that
probably
would
have
be
like
hilarious.
my stars, and I would have like their hook shot. Like fucking Thwomp could probably have like Brii's hook shot. Like, I want to try it so badly, but I haven't figured out quite yet how to mix games up.
That's cool. That only happens with games that have been decomped to that almost full extent, I think.
So we'll see where it goes from there.
That'll be interesting.
But I really like our first night doing a multi-world. It was insane. We were all like, "What the fuck is happening?" But it was hilarious because like you can randomize the pots and like the crates and stuff, and so obviously we always turn that on because it gives us more checks. It makes it a little bit more variety. Yeah. And you go into that room where like right outside the marketplace, that we call it the pot room, where in normal game you just get a bunch of rupees. Well, we can go in there when we shuffle all the items and just completely fuck someone over, because if you have somebody else's item, it stops them in whatever the fuck they're doing. And so like one of the times I was doing it, Winter was off in Zora's River with his chicken, and I just started picking up items, and they kept going to him, and he lost his chicken, and you just hear him go, "My chicken! My chicken!"
Lost all my fucking chickens.
Damn. Inadvertently fucking him over.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's also been scenarios where like we accidentally fuck each other over from it. Like, I think one of the most interesting ones that I saw was Bree was trying to go through child stealth, and somebody gave her an item, and one of the guards fucking caught her, and it completely glitched the game out. The game didn't know what to do, so she had to restart.
Yep. Thankfully, we weren't very far into it, I don't think. But it glitched the whole game out because of that. So now we make sure we turn that off.
Yeah. Damn. Randomizers on Ocarina of Time be hitting, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You'll never, like, playing an Ocarina of Time randomizer with 8-Bit and Bree, no matter how bad the night is, they can always just turn that around with just a couple hours with them on a zooter.
Instead of going on a bender, you're going on a zooter.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a lot of fun. And I really... You shut up. God damn it.
Hey, don't tell us to
sorry.
show up on our podcast.
Not you, my dog.
It's our TV show.
Settle down, Bree.
Sorry. I forgot what I was going to say thanks to my damn dog.
Oh, well, rip.
Yep, well, guess it wasn't that important.
But there's a lot to talk about Zooter, but we do have other topics that we need to get onto. So, as we get through Ocarina of Time, it splits into 3 paths here. So we need to kind of determine what path we want to go down first. So the first path is when Link is defeated by Ganon. The second one is where Link is successful in getting Ganon captured before the sealed realm is open. And the third one is when Link defeats Ganon and seals him into the Shadow Realm. Jeez, this isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! Winter. Into the Sacred Realm as an adult. So what timeline do we want to go down first?
We can go the shortest one first, so we get through that one, and then we go to the next one and the next one.
Okay. So the shortest one would be when Link is successful as a child in stopping Ganon before he gains access to the Sacred Realm. So the Twilight Realm and the Hero's Legacy. So the first game that we come to on this one is when Link ventures off to find an old friend, and here we are at Majora's Mask.
Oh, Majora's Mask, another eyeball playthrough.
And let me tell you right now, I know Bree, and this is her number 1 game.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Number 1 game, not just Zelda series, but of all time. I don't think anything has even come close to beating this as my number 1 game. Holy shit. I have so much knowledge about Majora's Mask.
Yeah, holy shit, my brain's flooded in with nostalgia again.
And this is the moment that Bree was like, this is my time to shine.
Now it's your time to gush about your favorite game of all time.
How do I even start? Like, this game... Honestly, for me, this game was mind-boggling. The time frame that you have, and the fact that you're at the beginning of the game, you technically don't know who you're searching for. It kind of becomes more clear, like, as you progress through the game. But when the first time you ever play it, you honestly are probably thinking, oh, I'm going to find Zelda because of the way Ocarina of Time ended. And so it's like, who are we really going to find? And when you find... They don't really tell you who you're going to find, but you get the hints. He's obviously looking for Navi, because that Navi was his fairy. Navi came to him and was like, hey, I'm gonna make you a big hero. And so Navi has a special place in his heart, and at the end of the game, you see of Ocarina of Time, you see Navi go bye-bye. Navi goes away. Thank God, because she's fucking annoying.
I still never understood why she just left him. I never understood.
I still have not really figured that out.
Oh, Magic Wish Box, give us the answer.
No,
Yes,
Magic Wish
please.
Box.
Anyways, continue on, Brie, until I get the answer.
No, you're fine. So obviously, when he's searching for this friend, he comes across this land, and he meets Skull Kid in the woods, and Skull Kid's a bully. Like, he's that type of person you just want to punch in the goddamn face. And eventually, he gets turned into little DQ Link, which I think is my favorite out of the transformation mask, just because he's so cute and so little and so dainty, and I love him. And then that's when you meet my favorite Zelda character ever, which is the Happy Mask Salesman. I love him. He's weird. He's crazy, and he's just me. And I love it.
Me.
Maybe the friends we made were the real treasure all along. You're so true on that one.
Oh, absolutely.
Walker is weighing in on the conversation, saying Navi was assigned to Link for a temporary quest, and after the quest ended, Navi left because the quest was completed, and then Link went into shock after.
So,
that's a good way of putting it, though. Like,
the most logical reason I found here, now a man in his own right, he doesn't need a guardian fairy to watch over him anymore. Thematically, Navi is so tied to Link's childhood that she needs to leave in order to symbolize him entering adulthood at the end of Ocarina. Kind of like the fairy godparents off of Fairly Odd Parents. You don't need your fairies anymore.
And I mean, Project Conquer, like, it really, that does make sense, because, like, you see the Deku Tree, like, hey, you need to go to this person, like, he is on this big quest, you need to guide him. What use is she after he completes that quest? Like, that's what she was intended to do, so why does she need to stay around?
There's a lot of theories behind it. Like, I mean, would Link really need to go back to the forest? Like, because another theory behind it was that, like, you need a fairy to enter the Lost Woods, otherwise you're gonna get lost and you're gonna die in there. So, like, with Navi no longer being there, can Link really ever go back to Kokiri Forest to see his old friends, or is this like the end of it for him?
Yeah, they really left everything up in the air for us to, like, theorize on, huh?
They really did. And like I said, Majora's Mask, it doesn't, like, fully tell you who he's looking for. You kind of just get the idea. And so for a lot of people, Majora's Mask was like, why is this in the timeline? Like, he's in a completely different land. Zelda's not a part of it. All this stuff. But they tie it in with the looking for a friend. And, you see at the end, Navi flying off, but then you also see him, giving Zelda back the ocarina and going back as a kid. So what more does he have to do? He knows he's a hero. He knows that he can go do these things. So maybe he's just going to travel to see what other places that he can save.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
He's a
get.
wayward hero.
Which I get. Like, if you're able to stop Ganon before the end of the era, what else is there to really do in Hyrule? Hyrule is basically at this point covered.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't really make another game if you have no fucking bad guy for Hyrule.
Exactly. So, with the ending of Ocarina of Time, they had so much potential to add more games, because, like I said, you see Navi leaving, you see Link going back to a child. There's so much that he could do. And I think, for me personally, Majora's Mask is better than Ocarina of Time. Obviously. A lot of people did not like it because of the time frame, the time limit. I think it made it more interesting.
I was not against the timeline. I was not against the timer. I thoroughly enjoyed Majora's Mask. I've played through it a dozen times, I'd say. But when I haven't played it for so long, and we decided that we were going to be fucking cute and decided to randomize a Majora's Mask seed and try playing through it. And I got so goddamn frustrated because I was on the Woodlands Target Practice game for an hour, if not more. And I got so fucking mad that when I won, I was like, oh, here's a red rupee, congratulations. I'm like, fuck.
That was all for Dot.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, the first prize is the bigger quiver, and then you get a heart piece. But I feel the frustration. Sorry.
You always wondered if Majora's Mask was a real place or a psychological state Link was in. You mean Termina? I don't know. That's interesting. Isn't it supposed to be a real place?
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I don't know all the details on the intricacies of everything, so I'm like just reading stuff and like, oh, okay. You know?
Although my thought process is like everybody was abandoning town and the mask salesman was leaving when the moon was crashing in a terminal. I was like, where are you going? Like the whole planet was like fucking dead at this point.
Right? Like that part did confuse me for a little bit, but then I think it kind of cleared it up for me at the end when, like, you know, you give him his mask back and he just kind of disappears. So is he really there? Or is he a figment of Link's imagination? He just disappears. Like, he starts walking away, and then he's poof into the oblivion.
Only real Kokiri have fairies. Link is a Hylian and was only given Navi to help spurn him on his quest. Quest completed, so no need for Navi anymore. Hello, hi Karibo, how are you? Why does Ganon hate the internet? Because there's too many links.
Oh God.
That's glorious. That's great. I love that. A+.
But I do really enjoy Majora's Mask because you get the sense of what it's like to be all these characters that you met in Ocarina of Time. So with the transformation mask, like, you know, you become the Deku, you become the Goron, you become the Zora, and then, you know, at the end, once you have, as long as you have gotten all the masks and have turned all the masks into the little mini mask salesman on the moon, you get the Fierce Deity mask, which basically is telling you, you are so powerful, you are amazing, you are incredible. Here's this mask to show, you're welcome, to show you how awesome you are. And so, like, you kind of, like, level up your character development with each transforming mask that you get. And I love that.
I think that's one of the coolest parts about Majora's Mask is being able to embody different types of characters, like you said. Mm-hmm. I like games that give you multiple characters to use. And even though it's really just Link transformed, it's still pretty fucking awesome. Like being able to roll around as a Goron, being able to swim fast like a Zora. You know,
although they fucking butchered the swimming mechanisms in the 3D version. Butchered it. I fucking hated it. It was so bad. You swim so perfectly and mesmerizing in the 64 version, and then you get to the fucking 3D version and it's like when you swim.
How we fish.
Yeah! I'm like, bro, of the things that you could have changed in this game for the 3D version, you changed the best fucking mechanic that this game had? Are you shitting me?
Yeah,
I see. When I would watch people play the game, the swimming did look pretty damn good, like, for its time, for sure.
It's amazing.
Better than Mario 64 swimming, probably.
And I enjoyed the concept of the fact that the temples / dungeons, whatever you want to call them for this game, was based on just one big thing. So in the Woodfall Temple, you get the hero's bow. And then every temple after that, you get some type of arrow. So like the Goron Temple, you get fire arrows. The Zora Temple, you get ice arrows. And then at the end, in the... Oh my gosh. Stone Tower Temple. Stone Tower Temple, you get the light arrows. And so I really like that they had basically one item for all the temples.
I never even really thought about that.
Yeah, and I really like that. Like, you get all the other items throughout, like, Termina itself. Like, you get the hook shot in the Gerudo Pirate's Lair. Yeah. And, like, you get bombs in the Goron area. And so, like, you have so much more, I feel like, potential outside of dungeons than you do, like... than you did in Ocarina of Time, because you didn't really get a whole lot of items outside of dungeons in Ocarina of Time, like you did in Majora's Mask.
Well, you're right.
Did anyone make 3D Mask mod fixing the swimming features? Well, I don't know, honestly. I haven't really looked into any of that. The conversation's making you want to play the games again.
Right.
Good.
I know, I may have to go. I mean, I did start it on stream before I started school, and then I just haven't streamed since. So.
Majora's Mask, more like confusing mess of a game. I mean, a lot of people think that. A lot of people do. Ocarina of Time N64 fishing is the best fishing game. Come at me, bro. Listen, did you ever play Bass Pro Shop? No.
Bass Pro Shop? What? That's not a game. That's a store, dude.
And I mean,
oh, good.
Yeah, I will.
Have you ever played Home Depot?
I might have, bitch. I will give the mess of a confusing mess of a game, because there is a lot, and like, especially with the Anju and Cafe side quests, like there are so many different routes of that side quest that you can take to get different items, and you eventually have to take them all, so that's why you have to keep going back in time and all that, because you get certain items and certain parts of that quest line, and then once you have all the items is when you can finally do the final portion of the quest line and get the mask that you're supposed to get from that quest line. It is a lot of going back in time and doing this and not doing that, and then changing where you take something to or who you take it to, and it's a lot. It can get confusing, but I feel like that made it so much more intriguing, I think is the word I'm looking for, than Ocarina of Time, because Ocarina of Time had just like this straight, like, go here, do this, whereas Majora's Mask was like, oh, if you do this, you could get this, and if you don't do this, then this happens, and
yeah, it's a big domino effect of things.
Yeah, it felt like there was more, what is the fucking word I'm looking for? Not logical, but like, more variety. That's the word I'm looking for in Majora's Mask than there was in Ocarina of Time.
Conker found the fix for the 3DS swimming mechanics on YouTube.
Oh my god.
It's actually a fix for this. There's people who agree with you, Bree, out there in the wild.
Yeah?
Oh, dude. I am part of like 8 or 9 different like groups on like Facebook and like Instagram and stuff that are just Majora's Mask or like, you know, Legend of Zelda in general. And I remember when I first joined those groups that one of the things that was the hot topic, because they one of the groups I'm in does a hot topic of the week, and one of the things was the swimming mechanisms from the 64 to the 3DS version of Majora's Mask. And not a single person in that thread of like the 2,000 comments liked the swimming mechanisms in the 3D version.
Oof. I mean,
and I went I went through and I read every single comment, and there's like 2,600 comments. Because I was like, I cannot be the only one that thinks that this is terrible.
Well, there you go.
'Cause
There's a bunch of people.
Oh yeah, Anthony got me the Majora's Mask 3D for I think it was Valentine's Day, the year it came out. And I get to that part and I'm like, I look at him and I was like, I don't want to play this 3D version anymore. And he's like, why? And I'm like, the swimming mechanisms that I'm used to in this fucking game are not fucking there.
Yeah.
Damn. Tuba agrees with you. What's up, Tubes?
No, that's Tubes.
Yeah, he's a big Zelda fanatic too, so he's probably gonna like weighing in on some of this conversation here.
Absolutely. You know, we welcome all the wonderful comments.
Also, if
Any
I'm
last-
talking too much about Majora's Mask, please just tell me to shut the fuck up.
I was about to say
Let's probably
any
move
last
on.
minute things.
No, we can totally move on because if you let me, I will talk about it all night.
I'll just say that Majora's Mask, I personally will say it was a really good game. Is it my favorite? No. By far, no. I think
It's okay to have a wrong opinion.
Listen, it's our fucking show, okay? So listen.
Sorry. At this rate, I'll never be invited back in.
Bitch, you're already being invited back in. What are you smoking?
You already.
You can change your mind.
Hey, Tibbs, you like Pokemon? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, rude.
Anyways.
Okay. Anyway, continue.
Let's move on further down the era of Link being successful as a child. Twilight Princess.
Oh God.
This is my fucking game right here.
I know
This
it
is the one for me.
Fucking love this game too. It's my second favorite game.
It's
Now-
just so good.
I know that
So
all of
good.
us have played this. I know that all of us love this game, and I know that all of us have finished this game. Let's talk about
Yes.
that.
Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
God.
Who's
Since I
going
talked
first?
about, I talked about Majora's Mask the whole time. One of you two can go first. This one.
Chaz, you can take
I gotta
the lead
be
on this.
fair.
Okay, I'll take the lead then. So, Twilight Princess. This is the first Zelda game I ever got to play with my own hands. So that's why it's my favorite, probably. But
Wait, you have
yeah.
hands?
No,
I
he plays with
thought
his
you played
eyeballs,
everything with your
remember?
eyeballs. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Wait, you have hands?
Oh man.
Anyway.
So yeah, I played it on the GameCube version, which I feel is the better version than the Wii, because the Wii one, as we all know, is flipped because of lefty Link normally, so everyone's mostly right-handed, so they switched it to mirror mode, and it's so jarring because everything's backwards, you know. But anyway, on the GameCube version, when I played back in the day, oh man, I fell in love with that game. It was so cool. I love because I was a big fan of wolves, right? And the fact that you get to turn into a wolf pretty quickly in the game, I was like, holy shit, hell yes, dude. You know? So,
It happened so quick.
yeah, it was really
Like,
quick.
I was expecting it to be like more towards like halfway through the game that you turn into Wolf Link. No, they were like, you're fucking turning into Wolf Link now. I'm like,
Yeah, within the first, 2 hours of gameplay, you're already him. So, yeah, that's one of my favorite parts, is becoming Wolf Link. And also the vibes are immaculate. I can't explain what it is about the game that hits so hard for me, but it gives me these super deep melancholic feelings that feel bittersweet, I guess you could say, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really love that the color palette of everything. It's like a dark bronze gold, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a mute tone almost.
Yeah, it's
Like-
super interesting how it looks.
Like they give you the colors, like you have your colors, but they're dull, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But,
Yeah, exactly.
But the vibe that it gives off is, you go from such a bright fucking color scheme in Ocarina of Time, and then you play that, and it's like,
Am I
two
colorblind?
different-
Like,
yeah, like two different color wheel spectrums that you're looking at, and it's like, but the way that they set up Twilight Princess and with with the vibe and everything that's happening in the game, that color scheme is immaculate for that game.
Yeah, I agree very much. Like, my favorite areas, like, I always love going into the Twilight sections because of that like really cool sepia kind of vibe they put to everything in there, and then the music is so like tripped out and creepy. And
yeah.
Oh shit! Thank you so much for that follow, Sev. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good one. But
Sorry.
I was about to say we're having a little bit of a podcast situation with Zelda, and then Bree's over here like, nah.
You get some
Sorry.
audio?
A little bit.
But yeah, the Twilight sections were my favorite parts to go through. I liked being able to save the spirits that were trapped in the Twilight, you know?
Oh yeah, the Twilight Temple itself, like it, and then
gorgeous.
Oh god, yeah, and then just the way, like when you walk up to the people that are in that temple, they're like, oh, and it's like, it gives you like horror movie vibes, but like fun horror movie vibes.
Yeah, makes you wonder what's coming next.
Yeah, and Zant.
Yeah.
Oh, Zant.
Zant was
Fucking
fun.
Zant's a weirdo.
Zant was fun. Like, I like
he
him.
in the beginning he feels so mysterious and like, oh shit, who is this guy? And he's kind of scary. And then later on, when you figure out who, like, he becomes more wild and like insane and tripped out. I don't know how to explain it. He's a little more psychotic. I'm like, oh shit, I thought he was more of a brooding type, you know? But no.
Well, and then that battle that you have with him in that Twilight Temple, where you go back and you relive all the bosses that you've already battled against.
God, that was fun.
Oh yeah.
That is fucking immaculate, because it's like you forget like certain mechanics like through other temples because you're not using them all the time. And then this battle makes you go back and remember them, and it's so cool how it's not the boss of that temple that you're facing. You're facing Zant, but like you're using the mechanics that were in those temples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a cool fighting gauntlet, basically, right?
Yeah. And it's one of those things that I really enjoyed about Twilight Princess with that fight specifically, is because when you look at other like older games, it was always a scenario of like you'd fight these bosses, you'd forget about them, and then later on down the road, you're in like the final area, and it's like, oh, welcome back, boss. How are you? I'm glad to see that I can kick your ass a lot easier than I did back then. It was like that. Like I'm pretty sure that there was like a bunch of those redos in like the last temple for the original Legend of Zelda. I have no clue about Zelda 2. We're not talking about that. But Link to the Past, you know, you go through Ganon's Tower, and it's like, oh well, there's the Armos Knights, there's the Sandworms, there's fucking Trolldorm just sitting on the top of the fucking tower.
So yeah,
But they didn't do that with Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, to where you could like go back and like redo these fights, you know.
Yeah.
So it was just a treat to have a recurrence of old bosses again, because that just seems like it was a tradition of Zelda to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good point, honestly. I like that too a lot. The bosses were also good too. Like a lot of them didn't feel like, oh fuck, I have to fight this guy. You know, it felt like, oh hell yeah, you know.
Right. It wasn't like you weren't dreading it.
No.
Yes. Especially the fight when you get into the Arbiter's grounds and you fight the big old bone creature fucking dragon thing. I fucking love that.
Oh, that battle was so cool, especially with the fucking little spinny toppy thingy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then they had to re-bring him back into Link's crossbow shooter training. You want to know how you beat him then? By shooting his hands.
Boring.
Yeah, like I'd say the creepiest place there was probably Arbiter's grounds. It was so, I don't know, just like it was
with
just
the
creepy as
pose.
fuck. Yeah, with the pose, and then the mid boss fight though. The mid boss fight was creepy as hell.
Oh my god, yeah, it was.
it was like a weird sorcerer demon goat man. I was like, what the fuck is that? It's so fucking cool. He's like the coolest mid boss ever too.
Yeah. One with that temple, it reminded me so much of the Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time, because of the pose and all that. That I mean, I still don't fully like it in Ocarina of Time, but when I played Twilight Princess and played that temple, it made me want to go back and see if I was gonna like the Forest Temple, because they're so similar but so different at the same time.
Yeah, the monkey one, right, with little monkeys.
No, the Arbiter's Ground, the one that's got all the pose and stuff. The Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the Forest Temple in Twilight Princess for a second. That's why I was like, the monkeys? The big booty monkeys?
No.
Oh my gosh, where they slap their butts. They're
God.
Yeah, one last thing I'll say about Twilight Princess myself is that, what was it again? Fuck, I forgot. There was one thing I had in mind right now.
Know what that
one thing I had in mind.
I have a question for you guys with Twilight Princess, because I need to know if it's going to be the same answer as me. What is your absolute favorite temple in that game? Like, what one can you just go back and do and do and do and do?
Arbiter's Grounds.
Snowhead.
Oh yeah, that one's good too.
I love
Yeto and Yeto's house.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite one.
That soup looked like it hit so good though. With the soup.
Dude, I know.
Twilight Realm for you? Oh, the Twilight Realm, huh? Interesting.
Ooh, you know, that's not a terrible choice.
There was
It's a very cool choice.
There was really
in terms
no
of atmosphere.
bad dungeons for Twilight. Okay, never mind. I take that back. There is one dungeon that I would rather just go get dental work done and play that dungeon again.
Can I guess what it is?
Yes.
Because I think I might know. Is it the Skyview Temple?
Yep, that sure is.
The one with the dragon?
Yes.
Have you ever noticed that the Okus, I think is how you say it, have little fish hooks as nipples? They're fish hooks!
Oh my god. You know, I don't know why that reminded me of what I was going to say earlier.
I mean, if they have fish hook nipples, can you milk them?
Oh god. Alright. Enough of that.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Oh my god. So one of the things I was going to say was...
I can't.
What a topic to get into right now. Oh man, but yeah, what I was gonna say earlier was I really loved how they included Skull Kid in it.
Yeah.
When you're going through the Lost Woods and it's playing a version of it, but it's super sad. The way the melody sounds instead of it being happy.
Yeah. I really liked how they made it like a game of chase, basically, instead of in the Lost Woods and Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, where you're kind of making your way through listening to the sounds and stuff. They made it a game, and I love that, and I love that you as contradicting as I sound, because I hated in Skyward Sword going back to the same places over and over. But when you had to go back because you go the first time as Wolf Link, and then you go back again as Human Link, because that's when you're getting ready to go into the temple. I loved it. It made it so interesting.
Yeah, and also that song is just gorgeous too.
Oh, it really is.
I love it. It's my favorite song in the game. Yeah, that's Twilight Princess in a nutshell, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Moving further on, there's not much left of this one, just because I can already tell you we're not going to be able to talk much on it. Further on will just be Link's crossbow training, which, who touched that game, honestly?
I own it, but it's still in its original wrapper.
I just own it to have it,
Yeah, just there for
Yeah,
the
Give me a
life.
second.
basically.
I must go grab my package that's at the door.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
okay.
go grab that.
A package, huh?
What'd you get me?
It's a surprise like Legend of Zelda. Like, I'm not going further than that. We'll just leave that alone.
Which one?
I'm being very naughty, and I need to not be naughty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I need to not. So. Anyway, so like, yeah, if people are still interested, like, yeah, well, we're waiting for Trouz. Again, just once more, like, if you guys like enjoyed Zelda content, especially like Ocarina of Time, doing like our randomizers and everything like that. Once more, our special guest Bree, she's trying to get her YouTube up and running. You'll give her a follow there. She is like doing like segments of Ocarina of Time randomizers. So go check her out. Go check out those hilarious moments.
I'm back. I just was grabbing it before the rain drenched the shit out of the package.
What'd you get? What'd you get us? What'd you get us?
Well, yeah. What'd you get me?
I just got a new phone charger because mine's fucking breaking.
Oh shit, that's boring.
I was like, it probably won't be of use to me because you probably don't have an iPhone.
Well, next week I'm getting that one pink controller that Midge shared in the Discord.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see that one.
I was so
You
in love
have
with the
to
colors.
post pictures of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be my like fourth Xbox One controller I bought in the last like 4 months because I can't not get these cool designs.
Right?
They're
Well, there's
so
nothing wrong with
pretty.
them.
They're
Anyways,
so beautiful.
moving on to the last game of this era. Again, not much to talk about it. It is moving into the Shadow era, where they are talking about the Four Swords Adventures. This is the one where you could play by yourself. Ganondorf reincarnated and Vonti resurrected. Then
Tuba been playing this one I think on stream recently.
Four Swords
Oh.
Adventures.
Yeah, he's actually playing with people I think.
Oh shit! Oh my god, you have friends who want to play this game?
Shit.
Tuba, where you get friends?
Four Swords Adventures, right? Or is it the 3D one, 3DS one? That's like kind of the same.
Oh, the
Isn't there one
Triforce
like that?
Heroes or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh god, Triforce Heroes. I watched somebody play that and I did not like it.
It wasn't bad, but like.
Oh,
it
current
sucked.
one is Triforce Heroes. Okay, you're playing that one.
I really contradicted myself. I was like, it wasn't bad, but it sucked.
Not as good as like the power of Zelda you're used to, right?
Okay.
Pretty much.
So now we move on to where the hero is successful in the adult era, where Ganon actually does get access to the Sacred Realm, but is then sealed by the Hero of Time. So we move on to the Hero of Winds and a whole new world.
Oh,
Move on
shit.
A whole
to-
new world.
I was just gonna do that.
We move on to the era without a hero. Ganondorf is revived and Hyrule is sealed and flooded, which brings us to the era of the Great Sea, which is Wind Waker.
Oh shit, Wind Waker, huh?
Oh.
Another I played with
Oh.
my eyeballs.
How many games have you not played with your eyeballs on this series, Trouz? Should we have picked a different topic?
I told you this ahead of time, didn't I?
You had
I've only-
full notion to change the topic, and you chose not to.
Listen. I
It's
wasn't
because
gonna
he
get
wanted to
around
hang out with
playing
me.
I wasn't gonna get around to any new Zelda games anytime soon for me to add to my repertoire. So, like, it would have been a long time probably if I held it off for that sake. So, yeah,
Better just get it out
I
of
mean,
the
I
way.
know enough about the games where I felt I can keep a conversation going with some
Better
of them.
get it out of the way at this point. Okay.
Get it out of the way.
Again, he
So,
just wanted to hang out with me tonight.
this one, Wind Waker, my favorite, 100%.
Oh,
Love
interesting.
Wind Waker.
I thought yours was actually another one.
Which one, Link to the Past?
Yeah.
No. Link to the Past
Oh, it
is
looks like
second.
Sev says, "Well, I play new Zelda games when A Link to the Past exists."
Right? See, at least somebody's on my side.
So,
Anyways, Bree.
oh shit.
No.
With Wind Waker, I'm gonna be very brutally honest.
Oh god, here we go. Let me guess, you're gonna be one of those fucking haters who's like, oh,
No.
the game
What a
sucks.
7.5 out of 10.
No, just let me finish.
Proceed.
It came out obviously a while ago. I think it was on GameCube first, right?
Yep.
And then they made the Wind Waker HD for the Wii U.
Yep.
So, when it first came out, I absolutely refused to play it. I refused. My mom was like, you love Zelda, let me buy it for you. And I was like, no, I'm never going to play it. It's too cartoony. I will never play it. And I refused and refused. And then, I think it's been 3 years now, the first time I ever played it. I'm not yelling at you. I'm doing a podcast. Shush, go away.
You're 3 years later, and I was like, sploosh.
Yeah. So 3 years ago was right around the time I first joined USG, and there was a lot of talk about Wind Waker for whatever reason it was. And actually, JR had convinced me to give it a shot. It was right around the time I had started streaming, so I was like, you know what? Cool, I'll play it on stream, get my, initial reaction. I fucking love that game. I am so mad at myself for never wanting to play it when it first came out just because of the way it looked.
I
That
feel you
game-
there, though.
The game is
That's
in
how I
my
felt
top
too.
5. The story is incredible. The mechanics are great. I wasn't too sure how I was gonna like the little wand or whatever the fuck you want to
The
call
Wind
it.
Waker?
Yeah, that thing.
That Wind Waker.
The
I
fucking
wasn't sure I
wand
was gonna-
thing, whatever it is. The Wind Waker?
Yeah, yeah. But I really like the whole first stream of it. All I could do was sit there and say, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. It's probably gonna be terrible. I'm gonna give it a shot. And then about 30 minutes into the stream, I'm like, okay, I really enjoy this game. And then the plot twist of Tetra being Zelda.
Those are mind blown.
Yeah.
It was subtle enough where it was easy to miss,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tuba says he initially hated the graphics, but he forced himself to play it and it grew on you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
When I first saw this game, I went because this was when Walmart was still allow you to do pre-orders and shit like that. We went to Walmart. I worked with my uncle. I didn't work with my uncle, but I went and hung out with my uncle when he worked. He was a security guard for a nursing home. Nothing happened on his shifts, but his partner's shift was when all the action actually fucking happened. And long story short, for how this guy acted, this guy would always tell you stories about how there was a giant mutant frog that just stood in the sewers just waiting for him to walk by unexpectedly so he could suck him in, and how there was an Indian that was living in a trash can that would always throw tomahawks at him as he passed by. Yeah, my uncle looked for all this shit. Nothing. My uncle looked every night for all of this shit to happen. Nothing. No mutant frog in the sewer. No Indian in the trash can with tomahawks. Nothing.
Compulsive lying.
But he would always get off work at 4 in the morning, though. And so this was when Walmart was still doing their 24-hour thing. So every night, almost every night, we would go and we would just walk Walmart. I was homeschooled, so I didn't have school. Fuck. We would just walk Walmart, and when I heard that Zelda, when Waker was coming out, I was like, I really want this game. I saved up money for it. I want it. And so, the person there to register, checked this out, and he's like, well, I don't have any more pre-order slips available. But I was like, but I already paid for it. And he fucking hand wrote a note. And my uncle's like, are you sure they're gonna take this? And he's like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. No worries. It was a trial.
They didn't fucking take it, did they?
It was a trial. Thankfully, I still had the receipt showing that I had paid for it. Because they're like, this looks forged. I'm like, it's not forged!
Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
But then I took it home and I like started playing it immediately. And they're like, "Come on, we gotta go. There's a movie we gotta watch." But I want to play Zelda.
Yeah,
That's a memory right there.
I regret so hard not playing it sooner because it is such a good game. And the items are so different than what I was used to that it made it even more of like a big like fanatic game for me. And then the fucking Ganon battle at the end, I have a clip of it. I'm gonna have to share it with you guys at some point. I was down to like a half of a heart, and Zelda kept fucking missing the arrows to hit Ganon so that I could attack him. And you just hear me at the end, Zelda, I have a half a heart. Come on.
Oh man, I forgot she helps you at the end, huh?
Yeah. And the little temple that you go to, like under the water, where you take your little dragon boat
Hyrule
thingy.
Castle?
Yeah, that was incredible. I loved it. I didn't want to leave. I was like, I'm just gonna stay here. I'm not gonna finish the game because this is too pretty. I love it here.
No, I will say, as a teenager though, I think I have a lot of furry characters to blame for me being furry in my life. Like, Babs and Fifi La Fume and then there's fucking Medley. God damn.
Oh my god.
As a teenager, I'm not gonna lie with anybody. I had such a fucking hard on for her as a teenager.
Jeez.
God damn.
Those sexual awakenings back in the day.
I blame cartoons for being a furry.
I blame Candy Kong from DK64.
Listen, I mean, I never had the hard on for an animal character, but I had a hard on for Link for a long fucking time. Like, Link was daddy for so long. And actually, Tears of the Kingdom made that happen. Like, I looked at Anthony when I started, because, Anthony bought it for me for Mother's Day. And I looked at him and I was like, I think you did the wrong thing. And he goes, why? And I was like, because Link is fucking daddy right now. And he's like, you're fucking weird. And I'm like, it happens.
It happens. God damn, hi there, sexy.
That's like one of the last things I expected to come out from this podcast was Link is fucking daddy. Like, damn.
But Link is fucking daddy. Oh, him and Leon. Gotta throw Leon out there.
Your blonde boys.
Oh, yes. I have a thing for blonde boys, even though I married a Mexican.
Are we gonna have the bullet bill
Link
conversation?
Oh no, Tube is adding a quote. Link is fucking daddy.
Every time it pops up, Trouz.
Damn, 129 quotes. I forget about the quote bot sometimes.
So, oh my god, I'm curious what all quotes are in there, but
Yeah,
another time at this point.
I'm gonna do one right now, miss. And with that, I must piss.
I was hoping for Daddy popping up again.
This is something better. All right.
Moving on though. I played this one. I'm gonna say 100% sure neither of you have played this one. So we move on to the era of the Great Voyage, and we start with Phantom Hourglass.
I played half of it. I never finished it, but I did play a little bit of it.
I only played a quarter of it, and I was like, this game fucking sucks.
Yeah, I did not like it. It wasn't the best. I do want to go back and give it a shot just because of my extensive love for Zelda.
I think this one's a hard pass. I honestly would say,
I'm like, if I hated it so much back then, am I really gonna like it now?
So here comes the best part. The timeline splits again.
Oh, great. Okay.
Tingle gets the Triforce.
Oh shit. What the
Oh
fuck?
shit. Hey,
So-
I like Tingle. Kualimpa.
Kululimpa and
And I can guarantee that these are games that none of us have played. We're just going to go through them real quick. The era of Tingle. Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
oh
Yep.
no, I've heard of these ones.
Yeah, I've heard of them, but I've never played them.
Tingle's Balloon Trip of Love.
Oh, my god.
Oh God.
What kind of timeline is this?
Where Tingle gets the Triforce. And then it moves
Still,
on
what
to
the
the
fuck?
era of Chaos. Radical Zelda. Ganon is revived. Ganon gets the Triforce and makes everyone stupid.
What?
Oh God.
It's the era of
You
Chaos.
want to
It starts
play
at
them on-
Radical Zelda. Ganon is revived. Ganon gets the Triforce and makes everyone stupid.
Oh my god, what the fuck? You don't want to play them unless you're a fan of Japanese game show games? Okay.
All right, so those will never be played.
And then moving on to the final part of the Chaos era, the Zelda CDI trilogy.
Oh, fuck.
Oh fuck.
Ganon and his minions have
Not those.
seized the Isle of Korodai. The old man, God, destroys the world because he ended the story.
Okay. All right.
So
We don't talk about the CDI tubes.
this is the
Christ.
Tingle era, guys. Just so you know.
Tingle just completely just
It's
fucked
completely
everything,
fucked
didn't
the
he?
world.
Okay.
Never give the fucking Triforce to fucking him again, dude.
I love me some Tingle and Majora's Mask, but this is just too much.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to current
Is it-
timeline.
There wasn't the, like, that game, the Curse of the Necromancer dance game where you, with the Zelda. Crypt of
Oh,
the
I think that's just a one-off. I don't think that's part of. I don't think that's a canon.
That would have been interesting if it was a Chaos one.
Oh Lord, Tuba, I didn't mean it like that.
That too. I love me some Tingle phrasing.
I quit. I can't with you people.
Hey, phrasing.
So back to the adult era where Link is Victor. A new continent is discovered, and this is the era of Hyrule's rebirth. So it moves on to Spirit Tracks. So Evil King Malatus is revived. Now, I will say, Bree, if you want to pick up a DS game, this would be the one to pick up.
So funny you say that. That is actually my next playthrough of a Zelda game.
Oh,
As
No.
stupid as some of the mechanics were, I could not put Spirit Tracks down.
I have heard, like I said, I have not played it yet, but I have heard so many good things about it that because I have it available to play, I'm going to play it.
Now, I will say that I'm gonna spoil us a little bit for you, Bree, and I'm just
No worries.
Just because I'm gonna save you the trouble and disappointment. You are going to fight a Goodwill bargain bin Stitch in this game,
Oh no.
and you know how Twin Rova gave you this awesome fight about how you use ice to fight fire and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
This guy does that, just not fun.
just
Oh,
not fun.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
good way to put it. Just not fun.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you that it's a Stitch, but it's like one of those Goodwill bargain bins, like right next to that book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer Got Stoned.
Oh no.
So
All right. So when that happens, I'm messaging you, and I'm gonna be flipping the fuck out.
yeah. So I'm
Seb
sorry
says
that
the CDI games the CDI games arguably made the most iconic memes. I agree with that. There's quite a few memes from that.
They did. But we don't talk about that.
But we don't
We
talk
don't
about
talk
CDI.
about Brew. No. Sorry. I have children, okay? We watch a lot of Disney.
But like with Spare Tracks, and then Trouz, I'll say this too, if you ever get the opportunity to play Spare Tracks, do so just for the final boss. The final boss was such an amazing fight. Like
that was one of the few ones that didn't look appealing just because it's like, oh, train conductor Link, okay, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, it's hit or miss, but like the final boss fight made this whole game worth it. And I remember when I fucking beat this guy. Like, I was still living in Albuquerque, and my mom was taking my baby sister in to get her her shots, and it was taking them forever. And I was sitting there in the waiting room on the DS just trying to fight this guy. Like, I think this fight took me a good 45 minutes to an hour to finally beat, because I was getting frustrated. Like, he was a tough fight. I was getting frustrated, and then I finally beat him, and I just jumped up. I'm like, yes, let's fucking go! And everybody just stopped reading their books and everything, and just looked at me like, are you high?
Bitch, I might be.
Tuba said that he didn't think the train system would work, but they pulled it off.
They did.
So,
they did a lot better than the fucking boat thing. The boat was just
fucking
so
bullets.
garbage. And that leads to the end of that era, to where we move on to the last one, where Link is actually defeated trying to beat Ganon. So it moves on to Hyrule's decline and the last hero, going into the imprisoning war with the era of light and dark, and that starts with Link to the Past.
Oh.
Now,
Trouz. The one I played with
This
you.
is Winter's game.
Yeah, it's my jam right here. This is definitely my jam. This is probably one of my favorite games to play. Wind Waker is still my favorite overall, but Link to the Past is a very, very close second.
See, that's what I thought was going to be your favorite.
I love Link to the Past. I will always 100% be down to play. Regular or randomizer, I don't fucking care. If you want to race, I will be more than happy to race this game. And one of the cool things was that when Trouz was playing, I was like, okay, let's see how many randomizers I can beat before Trouz can beat the game. And every time that I finished a randomizer, it would get harder and harder. I think I wound up getting to my third or fourth rando before you beat it.
Yeah, I think you were on the part way through 4. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was on my 4th randomizer. And one of the moments, when I was randomized, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go into the Eastern Temple and defeat the Armos Knights. Okay, well, here's my Silver Gauntlets. Okay, well, that opens a little bit for me. Might as well go turn in the green pendant that I got an hour ago and see what's in there. As I get, not in my luck, it's going to be the fucking Golden Gauntlets, and surprise, lo and behold, they were the Golden Gauntlets. I'm like, okay, well.
What about Link Between Worlds for 3DS? We're probably going to get to that in a bit, right?
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to the timeline.
When it comes to that timeline.
Tuba says, I don't like the wording for that era, to be honest. In his opinion, it shouldn't be that Link is defeated. It should be that the Triforce is creating a balance. The Zelda sending Link back in time. Good equals child era. Neutral equals adult era. Evil equals downfall.
I mean, that's how they have it worded on this timeline, so. Because, there was the 3 times where Link is defeated, Link wins as a child, and then Link wins as adult. That's just how they have it. I don't know. I don't know.
So,
I don't care what to tell you. Now, I know you kind of had opinions on it, Trouz, on this one. But what were your thoughts on it?
The positive things I could say about it right now is I liked how in 2D Zelda the dungeons were like the puzzles in the dungeons were like I don't know, they're more compacted in the screen space you had, but they were super clever a lot of the time. There was a lot of times I couldn't figure it out because I was just like couldn't think on that 2D level basically, But I know you were helping me here and there with some things, but yeah, I liked how that worked. How in 2D they make use of their fucking puzzle space,
Yeah.
And I did like the sprite work a lot. I did like how cute everything looked. But my overall experience was like a 7.5 out of 10. I think is what I give it because it pissed me off quite a bit sometimes.
There were moments, yeah.
A lot of old game jank,
Mm-hmm.
So there was moments where I was like, fuck, I just wish I was playing 3D Zelda right now. But I did play a little bit of the first ever Zelda game before I played A Link to the Past, just a little bit, so I kind of had a taste of it. But yeah, I think that's the only really full 2D Zelda game I've ever played.
Wow. Well, you're going to be pretty quiet on this arrow then. Beta, do you have any thoughts about Link to the Past? We need to take you through that game.
So, I have played a little bit of it. Because the system I was playing it on, because I had it on the system, oh my god, whatever it was.
The Wii?
Yeah. I broke it. So I never got to finish it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's on the Switch now, so you can play there.
Yep. And so I was enjoying it a lot when I was playing it. So I do need to actually go back and finish it. And I know how much you hype it up, which means it's gonna be a good game. Because I trust your instinct when it comes to Zelda. Even though I didn't at first when it came to randomizers, because I was like, why the fuck would we do that? And now look at me.
Yeah, no, look at you now.
Rando junkie.
Oh, dude, all the time. I constantly want to do them.
Right.
So I don't have a whole lot to say on it just because I haven't finished it. But what I did play of it, I did really enjoy.
Okay. I could talk about Link to the Past all day long. But
Like me with Majora's Mask. It's fine.
Yeah. The next series of games, I do recommend everyone to play it. They did bring them out to the Switch membership, the Switch Online membership, so I highly advise anyone to go play these, just because they were such a fun series, and that was the Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages era.
Yes,
Oh,
I
those are two,
love them.
Those two I want to try because they look cool.
So
They are really good.
So my uncle and I would always have this thing where when two games would come out, he would get one and I would get the other. It always happened. So he had Pokemon Blue, I had Pokemon Red. He had Gold, I had Silver. This one was no different. He chose Seasons and I chose Ages, and I 100% loved the game. They are both very good games to go through. They do have a really rich story.
The story was immaculate.
Mm-hmm. And they have really good bosses. They have really good. They have a really good final boss each. So, 100% recommend to go play the Oracle Season series.
Yeah,
Definitely. I hear they're kind of not too short, but they're pretty decent, right?
They're pretty decent. I think they have the average of 8 dungeons per.
Okay.
So, a lot longer than Minish Cap, but a lot shorter than Link to the Past.
Okay. Cool.
So.
the story is what really did it for me. I'm a very story-driven person when it comes to these kind of games, and so the story is what kept me going. I loved the story.
Stories are always super nice to latch onto. They're really I don't know, they bring you into a new exciting world, you know?
Yeah. And for me, a lot of the times when it comes to the story, that's what helps me finish the game, because I need to know how the story ends.
Right.
There you go.
I don't know. So then we move on to the Golden Era, which comes to my third favorite game overall. Link's Awakening.
Oh, the dream one, huh?
Uh-huh. I'm not
It
sure.
was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper, Heavy D up in the limousine. Sorry.
Whoa, sir.
Sorry, I got really reminded of.
I got a little bit deep into that one there.
Yeah, I had to cite a good amount of it.
Yeah, so this moves into the Golden Era, and then showing up on Koholint's Island. Again, this is my third favorite overall Zelda. I would always pick this game up and play it on the Game Boy. God, it was my first ever Game Boy game too. My first ever Game Boy game. I loved it dearly. And then when they came out with the DX version, and they fucking came out with the color dungeon, oh, God, fuck me up.
So I sadly have to say that I have not finished it, because I bought it for the Switch when they remastered it for the Switch, and lost my cartridge.
Oh no.
And yeah,
your cartilage.
Yeah. When because we had bought it right before we had
that's-
moved.
Maybe that's why you have back issues. You lost your cartilage.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I have no disc in between a couple of my vertebrae, so yay. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I have not got to finish it because I never had it for the Game Boy. So I did buy it for the Switch and lost it, and I just haven't had the money to replace it.
Fuck, if I didn't own it digitally, I'd let you borrow mine, but
But I have watched people play it, so I do know a little bit what happens and stuff, but I think I got 30 minutes into the game before I up and lost the little thingy.
and some of the boss fights were fun in Link's Awakening, but they unfortunately did introduce the weakest boss that you would ever fight in Zelda history in Link's Awakening. It's just a giant anglerfish, and his weak point. So I'm gonna explain this how Screw Attack's Top 10 described it. So he's a giant fish that just moves lazily up and down, and he has attacks that is easily avoidable. If you get hit by this guy, then you need to stop playing Zelda, basically. His weak point is exposed at all times in the most convenient area for you to be able to attack. And it's you want to know how easy this guy is? I just beat him during that little bit of time I took to explain this to you. The boss is so easy, he had to freaking loop the footage over and over again to beat the boss.
Oh wow.
See, that reminds me, Georg in Majora's Mask. I felt like he was such an easy boss. It was insane how easy he was to me.
With the name Georg, it sounds like he'd be easy to beat.
Yeah, he's just a giant fish, because it's the Zora temple boss.
For easy references, we're just gonna call him George from now on.
George.
Georg's my name. How's it going? I'm a Zelda boss. Believes Georg.
I mean, so if you want to go further detail before we go on to the next game, if you want to go further into detail, let's talk about the fucking fish that was in Twilight Princess. Okay, that one.
God.
Okay, hear me out though. That one, yeah, it's a giant fucking fish, and when you're on his back and you're stabbing him, and you're just going ee with excitement. You gotta look further into it. If you just watch him, he's just a fish. He's just swimming around. He's not causing any problems.
Yeah.
Even though he's taken over by the fucking power of the Twilight pieces.
Yes. He just sits there and swims around. He's not doing anything.
He
So that
looks
just
very.
kind of like low key makes you a murderer.
It's just too penile looking. We had to take it out, you know. You know.
To me, with
we gotta
that...
take out this eldritch horror penis right now.
yeah, exactly. With that boss, like, he looked so intimidating at first. Like, you're like, how the fuck am I gonna do this? And then you do it, and you're like, what the fuck was I even worried about? Like, am I dumb?
Yeah. Link killed the fish because he wanted some sushi? Exactly.
He wanted some sushi.
He wanted some Hylian loach sushi.
So, yeah, I also advise, everybody to go play Link's Awakening. And then further on, we move into A Link Between Worlds. And boy, howdy, do I need to discuss Link Between Worlds.
I have seen it played one time with the Game Grumps, and I really like the mechanic of the wall, like, becoming a part of the wall and stuff. That was pretty cool.
I did play it, but that was for fucking ever ago, so I don't remember a lot about it.
Now, everybody and their mother was excited that Link Between Worlds is coming out. This is what everybody wanted. It was to go back to the Link to the Past Hyrule, to revisit that world again. And, they did not, let down whatsoever. The game, the playthrough, the dungeons, the story, 100% loved. I enjoyed all of it, and even the soundtrack, even, going again in its castle, loved it. My problem with this game, and this is why I can't give it a solid 10, my problem with this game was that the dungeons did not hold the items. You had to go rent the items from your... and I'm just going to say it. I'm going to spoil it for everybody. So if you don't want spoilers, I would mute for the next 10 seconds. I'm going to give you a final 3-second warning. 3, 2, 1. You had to rent your items from your fucking cowardly Lorule self to get your fucking job done that your Lorule fucking cowardly self couldn't fucking do.
I didn't realize that was the thing. I didn't realize the Bunny Man was that.
Yeah. That was the Bunny Man. And if you rented your items and you went and you died, this little fucking cockatoo shit comes up and takes all the items back and takes it back to Bunny Man. And you had to go rent them out again.
This cockatoo shit.
Did he have fish hook nipples?
Oh my god. Why is this coming back up? Why did this come back? What is the correlation here?
He said cockatoo. He said uku.
Oh, I was like, what?
So it was a case of I want to give the game a 10, but I can't. And it's literally because they went away from tradition of not putting items in the dungeon. And I get why. I get why. They wanted this game to allow you to have the freedom to be able to pick what dungeon you wanted to go to first. Love that idea. 100%. I'm down for. But not when you have to rent your items and you have a chance of losing those items.
Yeah.
So
that is kind of unfortunate, side effect of it all, right?
So I have to give it a 9.5 out of 10 from my rating. It could have been a solid
it's still pretty good.
Could have given it a 10, but they fucked up. Any thoughts on you guys?
They could have, from what you told me, they could have, given you the, permanent versions you can grab in the dungeons as you go through so you don't have to rent them again. That would have been nice.
You can buy the permanent versions, but it only costs you, 10 times as much as how much it costs to rent them.
Well... Damn, well, I mean, that would have been... That's why if they didn't do that, they made it like you said, a dungeon item that you find. Okay, now I don't have to rent this again. that would have been cool.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of annoying that they made you pay an absurd amount of money just to keep it permanent. But, in the lore implications that you're saying, the Lorule self was cowardly and he was just trying to make some money, right? So, fuck.
Yeah. And, the wall trick, love the wall trick. That was one of the coolest ideas that they had, especially when you're going up against the guy who has a shield. And you fucking just plaster yourself against the shield and you're just like looking around and you just pop out and hit him in the back. Hilarious. One of the best boss ideas I've ever seen.
Slapstick comedy, and it's fine.
Do you guys mind if we take a quick break? I have to use the restroom.
We sure can.
Yeah, I'm done for a quick 5-minute break.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. All right. I will burp.
Sounds good. I'm going to throw up my BRB screen for just a moment then.
I don't know if any of you can hear me, but I am back whenever we're ready.
I just found a treat in the kitchen that I completely forgot I bought. So I'm like, fuck yes.
Oh yeah, what?
Some chewy Chips Ahoy cookies with Reese's in them.
Yum!
I'll
Sounds
share if you come over.
delish. You know, if my back didn't hurt as bad, especially because I had to run up the stairs before I shit my pants.
Oh, no.
I totally was.
Man.
Yeah, I was sitting there while you guys were talking. I was like, because we had lasagna for supper, so the noodles are hitting me, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to go to the bathroom so bad. I was like, I don't want to like interrupt them while they're talking, and then every time like I thought you guys were done, somebody else would say something. I'm like,
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
You want a Chips Ahoy chewy cookie with Reese's in them?
Oh hell
You know,
yeah, I do.
That's crazy. I just had a homemade chocolate chip cookie right now. Yummy.
Wow. So don't mind if I eat, then if you don't mind if I eat on podcast, then.
So I love how y'all were talking about cookies, and the side of Trouz's stream was an ad for Oreos.
Love it.
It knows.
It knows.
So, are we ready to continue on this great discussion?
I
Yes.
am ready.
Okay, let's talk about one that I think we all agreed that we hated. Tubes could get in on this one. Triforce Heroes.
Triforce Heroes.
Absolutely not. I looked at a little bit of it being played, and I will not play it.
No,
That is a hard no, hard pass. Don't collect $200 when you pass go. Nothing.
do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Not a damn thing.
So this is one that probably did require friends. You could, in World of Warcraft terms, you could pug a group. Pug standing for pickup group. Which means that you just get thrown into a random list of. You get thrown into a list of randos. They'll pick 2 randos to go with you, and then you all just go on a journey. The problem was that, like, as far as I know, I don't know if they fixed it or not, was that if one of your, I'm going to go into Destiny terms now and say the word blueberry, because you can talk to Midge and JR about that. They got me to saying that wording. That if one of your blueberries left, they wouldn't replace it, and then you just got stuck. Like, it wouldn't let you have control of the character. It wouldn't like let you proceed. Nothing. So you were kind of just SOL if somebody left your game. So it just.
What does SOL mean? Shed out of luck or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a generic term.
You're SOL.
That's a generic term. So it was fun with what little that I played. It was fun, but I only played so little of it and got literally nowhere with it. It had potential. It seemed like it would have been a lot of fun, but you need a dedicated group to do it.
Yeah, it seems like it was functionally not thought too well out, you know?
It really wasn't. And after that, we move on to the Era of Decline. The Monarchs of Hyrule used the Triforce, the tragedy of... The Monarchs of Hyrule used the Triforce, the tragedy of Princess Zelda. This begins with the OG Zelda. The one that started it all.
Oh lordy.
I played this a lot. I played the original Zelda a lot. Only beat it a handful of times, but whenever I was bored, I would always just pick it up and play it a little bit, go through the first and second dungeon, and just kind of, I'm done.
I think I've only done one total dungeon ever on that game.
There was a master quest that, like, once you beat it, you could go through it again, and like the dungeons were all shifted around and shit like that.
A little mini randomizer.
I never did the master quest. It was supposed to be like a lot harder than the original, but I never went around to doing it. I tried like doing the master quest for Ocarina of Time. I think I only got as far as like the Forest Temple as adults for Ocarina of Time. Because it's like Master Quest is a lot different, and I sometimes we have the option of putting in the Master Quest dungeons for a randomizer. But I was just like, I don't know if any of us would know how to do that, because there's like scenarios where there's like cows stuck in the wall and you have to fucking shoot them with a slingshot to open a door.
Yeah.
So I kind of left Master Quest alone. But I think that, like, the original Legend of Zelda introduced Master Quest to the series.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that.
The original Legend of Zelda, though, I mean, give it a shot, play it. You might like it, you might hate it.
See the roots of where everything came from.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of those people that, because it was not the first Zelda game I ever played. But of course, when Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask made me fall in love with the series, I was like, I gotta go back and play, the older ones if I can, whatever. I enjoyed it, but I didn't finish it. I think I got just a tad over halfway, and then I put it down and never picked it back up.
It's a lot to say considering our next candidate.
I'm gonna just go ahead and preference. I hate the next one. Hate it. No go. Absolutely. Just shove it in a 6-foot hole, bury it with some cement, and never talk about it again.
I almost thought you were gonna say semen.
I mean that too. That's fine. Whatever.
No, she wants to do that. She wants to do that with Link.
Yeah.
Oh no. Alright, moving on.
Zelda 2. Let's talk about it.
Let's not and say we did. Okay, next one.
I agree.
All I know is it was like a super weird Dragon Questy vibe to the fucking thing, and it just looked weird. That's all I know.
It was dumb.
So that's the thing with that one is that one I actually finished. I never finished, the original Zelda, but that one I finished, and I hate it. I fucking hate it. I fucking hated it so much. I'm like, why did I put myself through this? I've never picked it back up since. I think I was like 12 the first time I played it, and I refused to pick it back up. I refused to watch any type of video on it. Nothing. It's so bad. So bad.
Candidate for worse than CDI?
I'd rather play CGI.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. For the funny meme factor?
Yeah?
Honestly, yeah. Zelda 2 is horrible. Like,
I
don't know how.
I'd rather be put on a bomb squad and go try to figure out how to solve that by myself with no help whatsoever, other than having only an Italian-speaking monkey to tell me what to do, than play Zelda 2.
That's specific as hell.
Listen, I'd rather be tied down and have my eyeball scooped out with rusty spoons. Okay?
Oh,
This is
right.
how
That
bad
is-
we hate this game.
Yeah. It is
Good to
so
know.
bad. That is one thing that I think made mine and Winter's friendship so much stronger is our hatred for that game.
You bonded through love and through hatred of a game.
And what,
Yes.
what really sucks is that there's so much speculation that if Zelda 2 failed, the Zelda series would not have existed. Kid you not. If Zelda 2 did not succeed like it did, Zelda would not exist today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild to think
Which
about that.
is
It would have been
insane
on the
to
death
me.
of Zelda.
Yeah. Well, it's insane to me because it's like that game, it should not have done as well as it did. And no hate to anybody that enjoys the game. I mean, a little bit, but if you enjoy the game, that's on you. I don't care. I don't like it. And that's that. It's so bad.
Anyways, moving on.
Next.
The United World and the Calamity to Come. This is the era where 3 worlds become one. Ganon is resurrected. It is the era of the Sheikah. Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, never played it. I know it's like Dynasty Warriors.
Now, I liked Hyrule Warriors. I really want to get back in and finish Age of Calamity.
Me too.
I definitely want to get back in and play the original Hyrule Warriors again and kind of get back into that one. Loved the fact that they decided that they wanted to introduce Linkle into this game.
I love Linkle.
As the female version of the protagonist, Link, which she was awesome. She was an awesome fighter in the game.
Yes.
It was an interesting take on all that. I wonder if Nintendo will ever make that like a canon thing.
I would love to see it. I'd love to see a game of Linkle.
And then
Honestly,
Zelda.
me too.
Zelda, the prince.
Imagine Zelda's just a big old fat guy with a beard. Like, you must go find the Triforce.
He takes after King Bosperamus.
No. The prince is gonna be King Zoro.
Oh God.
King Zoro.
My mother never loved me. She threw me into the fucking whale with all the other people. Bitch, you just lost your family jewels. That's all it is. You went to go back to get them.
Exactly.
And then just the King's guard was like, "You must stop Ganondorf."
Ganondorf.
Ganondorf.
Yeah, I was
Do
gonna
you
say
know-
Ganondorf.
Seriously though, like if you think about it, if they were to make a Zelda game that was everybody was the opposite gender, like I feel like that would be such a funny, like meme friendly like game to play. Especially with all the memes right now of what if Zelda was a girl? You know, like it would be so funny.
The fucking instead of Impa.
Nintendo, if you're listening, make it happen, but we get credit for it.
They won't
No,
give us
we
fucking
get
credit. You kidding me? Don't
Damn it,
give
I
us
wanna be
credit.
rich.
God,
Wait
could
for
you
the
imagine though the
fanfic.
story of the Gerudos? Like, you know, only like one male born every like what 500 years, and I was like, oh well, there's only one female for the whole fucking tribe. Like,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be just a bunch of male Gerudos. That's gonna be weird.
This one female Gerudo is just getting railed by hundreds
No,
of men.
you didn't have to go that way.
I mean,
I mean,
Oh
I
my
did
God.
though.
we're just talking about the whole what if scenario.
So
Like,
Ganondorf gets railed too. I'm just kidding.
Ganondorf, yeah. Ganondorf, the
God.
Princess of Thieves.
Yes.
Not the rail down, dude. The rail down timeline.
But the thing is that Ganondorf is so busy trying to get the Triforce that
The tro force. The quad force because it's four.
oh yeah, the Quad Force. She doesn't have time
This
to go back
fanfic-
and have sex with all these Gerudos. She's got shit to do. Like,
This fanfic is getting a little crazy. Oh my god. All the Gorons have rock boobies instead. I'm just kidding.
From now
None of
on.
the Gorons are like, you know,
from now on, because you saved us Goranos, you are a sworn sister now. Congratulations.
Gorano.
We're getting a little too
can't,
deep
dude.
into this.
A little bit.
I like how we started talking about the like Dynasty Warriors games, which is a mishmash of everything. We just started going fanfic mode on it. Christ.
Hyrule
Well, I've never
Warriors, though,
played it. I just know it's a big mishmash. Fuck. It's a big mishmash. That's all
It's
I
a
know.
fun game. I advise it.
What? Wait. Say that again, Travis.
You be mishmash.
Blah, 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 blah.
Christ.
But yes, Hyrule Warriors was definitely a good game. I enjoyed it.
Okay. So still in Era of the Sheikah, Untitled Breath of the Wild prequel. Ganon is reincarnated as the hero. Calamity Ganon awakens, and Ganon is sealed away. Huh.
Wait, is this Breath of the Wild itself, or
This is a question mark that says Untitled Breath of the Wild prequel.
oh, weird?
So, are they trying to contemplate that Nintendo needs to make another like Breath of
Unless
the
they
Wild
meant
type
that,
game?
unless they meant the Hyrule Warriors that is for Breath of the Wild.
No.
I don't know.
That's further down the line here. As now we move on to the Era of Recession, where it splits one more time. Where either A, the calamity is prevented, or B, Calamity Ganon awakens. Moving on to the calamity is prevented, it moves on to the Age of Calamity, where you time travel to break the cycle, calamity is prevented, and a new future dawns. And this is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Yeah, that's what I really wanted to try out because I wanted to know more lore, but I never played it.
Trouz, you need to pick it up and play it.
You do. It is really good. The lore is
I will say
incredible.
50,000 channel points again.
Yeah.
Listen, Pua, oh my god. She's hot as fuck.
Oh my god, Pyrrha.
Love her.
Don't even get started on Tears of the Kingdom, Pyrrha.
Oh god, I know.
Oh!
I'm not gonna lie.
Alright, settle down.
I'm not gonna lie though. I'm one for Mifa personally. Like, I could get down on some sushi myself.
Dave, dude, I am a Sidon simp. Oh my god. I never in my 29 years of life thought I would ever say that. And like before, because people were playing it before yeah. And like before I played Breath of the Wild, like other people were playing it and posting like, oh my god, Sidon. So I'm like, bro, he's a fucking fish. What the fuck? And then I play it and I'm like, okay, but he's a hot fish.
He's a hot fish.
And then I play it and it's like, Bree, what? Fishy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god. I do agree with the Mifa point though. Mifa is very adorable, honestly.
Fucking sexy.
Oh, I mean, there's that too, but I think she's goddamn adorable. She's so dainty and cute.
Mm-hmm.
That and Urbosa.
Oh my god, Urbosa is tall mommy, muscle mommy, step on me, please.
Oh,
I mean,
step on my throat and make me call you mommy. I will do it all day long. Oh god.
Oh, I tingle more than the lightning you'd ever shock me with now. Sorry, the Gerudo women in these games are so beautiful to me.
God damn, Trouz.
Oh my god. They really are. He's not wrong. Like, as someone who loves women just as much as she loves men, I would gladly go live in a village full of just women that are Gerudo women because, oh my god.
Man, yeah, they're really well, like, it's speaking in terms of their designs, they really went ham on just upgrading them, so, like, I think they're fucking sick.
Yeah. 100%.
It's just the whole art style of the series is good.
Yeah. I'll stick with, you can have Urbosa, I'll stick with Mifa. I'll have Mifa, you have Urbosa, Bree can have Sidon.
Winter, we could be related!
Oh, hell yeah.
Who's gonna have Big Daddy Daruk?
Link can.
Yeah.
Link can have Big Daddy Daruk. Oh man. But I mean, so on the prequel thing with the what's it called?
Breath of the Wild prequel? Yeah.
No, not that one. I'm talking about what we're talking about now.
Oh, Calamity. So
yeah, that's all like 100 years in the past, right?
Yeah. This is in the past, like to try to prevent Calamity Ganon. So yeah, time travel to break the cycle, calamity is prevented, and a new future dawns. Well, after that one, the everlasting eternal recurrence finally shatters, and you move on to the era of peace. And that timeline passes the eternal recurrence. So if calamity is prevented, then Hyrule is forever safe.
Oh, just that's the happy ending, huh?
And that is the true happy ending right there.
Oh, that's a rare thing to happen.
On the other hand, Calamity Ganon awakens. Welcome to the era of ruin.
Yay.
Starting with Calamity Ganon is defeated at Breath of the Wild.
Oh my god. Breath of the Wild was a groundbreaking fucking game, right?
God, I loved Breath of the Wild. I loved the aspect that it was a open world, do what you want to do kind of things.
Yeah. It made me fall in love with Zelda all over again.
Seriously. Like, I love, like, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but with Breath of the Wild, it was like, I can go do whatever the fuck I want. I don't have a certain timeline I have to follow or order I have to do. Like, I think my first temple I did in Breath of the Wild was the fucking Fire Temple. Like, I loved that aspect. And then, like, I still go back, even though I play Tears of the Kingdom and stuff too. I still go back and play Breath of the Wild, and I go back and watch, like, myself on the map, like, because you can watch your like pathway and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll go back and do that, and I'm like, oh shit, I missed this spot. So then I'll go up there and search up. There's so much to see, so much to do. There's so much hidden lore in it. It's everywhere. It's so good.
Yeah, and I feel like all the, you said all those things, like you don't have to follow a timeline or you could do whatever you want. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like that, but there's games that have their place in that sense, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, this game is totally trying to flip Zelda on its head, essentially, right? But they did really well at doing it.
Yeah, this was one of those games that I always tell people is that Nintendo really stepped out of their comfort zone. But it worked.
Yeah.
It
was
did what they
paid off
to
super
do.
well. I know a lot of Breath of the Wild haters that are out there because they like the contained, story, or not the contained story, the contained, like, dungeons and, like, pathways you take and whatnot, which is, it's totally fun and good, it's always fun playing those, but
Oh, yeah.
you gotta put yourself in that mindset of, like, this is just, a different approach completely,
Yeah, it's. I love, like, the changes that Breath of the Wild made to the Zelda series, like catching your own horse. So, like, you can get Epona with the amiibos, but, like, I felt it more personable to, like, get your own horse and name it and, like, work up the friendship level and stuff like that. I loved that. And then, of course, had to get the Ganon horse in Breath of the Wild.
I'll never forget Bungus, my first horse, Bungus.
My first horse was a brown horse, and I named him Brownie.
There you go. Perfect.
And then I did a Breath of the Wild playthrough on stream, and I let chat choose the name of my first horse, and it was Dog Titty.
What the fuck?
That was Moobs' doing.
Oh my god.
But I love that you can do that, and I didn't like the aspect of your weapons breaking. Like, that was kind of, like, weird to me. Like, I ended up, like, getting used to it, and it doesn't bother me as much now. But, like, the first time playing it, like, it's so weird that your items can break. And then when you do get the Master Sword, it runs out of energy, and it's like, the fuck? What's the fucking point of having a goddamn Master Sword if it's just gonna run out of energy?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few things about it that they kind of messed up on, I feel, too. Like, yeah, like you said, the durability system could have been refined a little better, where we had more attacks to be able to use on it, and maybe even, like, repair some of them, but, they never gave us repairs. Like,
Yeah.
we just make new ones because there's so many materials.
Yeah.
Here's a fun thing, Trouz. Little fun trivia. So Bree, she says that she hates like weapons breaking and shit like that. Like, yeah, she did eventually get used to them. But I have trained her so well in Ocarina of Time that she no longer needs the child sword in our randomizers. She can go through everything as child with Deku sticks, which are disposable and breakable. So,
Damn.
here she is complaining about it, but yet she does not choose to use the Fisher Price sword.
I also love.
It's a little bit different though in that aspect. Like, the Deku sticks in Ocarina of Time are actually strong. Where like these breakable weapons in Breath of the Wild, like you get like 2 hits and then it's like kaboosh, and it barely did any damage to them.
Well, my God.
Yeah. My favorite thing about Breath of the Wild was like the Sheikah abilities you get for the like your bombs got reserved to that. I had a thing on stream when I first played it on stream back in the day that I had something called Yeet Link. Then I would just hold on a bomb at the edge of a cliff and alright, this is Jackass, this is Link, and welcome to Jackass, and I blow it up and just fall down all you know. Like, I love that kind of like creativity you can do with some things. You can just mess around with it, you know.
Right.
Now, with Breath of the Wild, the one thing that I absolutely like 1000% hate and wish they never put in Tears of the Kingdom are those damn fucking Koroks.
Oh,
what the
God.
fuck?
Man,
Well, you don't want to collect the golden poop?
Oh,
you know,
so shitty.
Oh, wow. I was gonna say, you just fucking said what it was.
It's shit. It is a golden shit. I could go take one right now if I wanted to, okay? I don't need the fucking whatever the goddamn fuck his name is golden poop, okay?
Oh my God. Like, I could see why if you're a completionist mindset, and it would bother a lot of people, because that's 900 Koroks, right, in the Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is super annoying to go through all of them, because they're in, like, really weird places, I'm sure, and whatnot. But I went in with, like, I have a completionist mindset myself, but I knew how unworth it, was going to be. I was just going to get a comfortable amount of slots for my shields, swords, and bows, and I was fine with it. I was like, alright, I'm good. I don't gotta worry about these Koroks anymore. Fuck them.
See, my mindset with the Koroks is I am a completionist. Like, if I enjoy a game, I want to 100% the game entirely. And so I did. I sat there for days trying to collect these Koroks. I have like 700, 800 hours into that fucking game. And I still have barely 500 Koroks. And I even have the little Korok mask that, you know, will go off whenever you're close to one. And there are just some that it's like, where the fuck is it? Like, there's one that's in the middle of a fucking field, and it's like, how the fuck do you get it? Because there's nothing like little sparkly on the ground, like, you know, some of the ones in the water like to be. There's no rocks for you to lift up. Like, is it way up in the sky? Like, where?
One thing I could criticize about the game that I didn't really like at all was the divine beasts replacing dungeons. I didn't care too much for them.
I wasn't a huge fan of that either. Like, the mechanics of them were just not there.
The mechanics were very unique. They just were not good enough.
They weren't utilized to their full extent, I should say. Like, it was the divine beasts were so limited in size that it wasn't using the potential. Like I said, you know, like the most enjoyable one for me was probably Vamedo, because it was in the sky and that was cool. But like the other ones were just like, okay, whatever. I'm just more excited for the boss fight at this point. Like, I don't even care about going to the dungeon.
Well, and then honestly, the boss fights lacked for me. Like, it felt like they kind of just weren't all that creative with them. Like, yeah, they were like the different, like, you know, the fire, water, thunder, whatever. They lacked for me. They weren't like terrible. Like, I've faced worse boss battles, but like, they just weren't what I wanted them to be, I guess is what I'm trying to say. For a game that had so much hype behind it.
The Thunder guy was probably the only decent fight out of them all, I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only real big giant criticism I have of it, was just the Divine Beast situations. I liked what they did with the lore and them, and you know what it did with the story and how it helped you fight, you know, the calamity towards the end of the game. But other than that, like, going through it was like, eh.
Yeah.
And I did like the fact that you could just go face Ganon whenever the fuck you wanted.
Yeah, you can just go right the fuck off the bat if you want.
Yeah, it's just, you don't realize unless you do all the Divine Beasts that doing all of them, it helps you in the end.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I went in, because I was like, I know, I'm gonna go do all the temples and, you know, get all the fucking shrines and shit, and then I'll go face Ganon. And
grab the shrines and the shit.
yeah. And so when I went and faced Ganon and they took away half of his fucking health because you had the help with it, I'm like, shit, I'm really fucking glad I did that.
Right. Anyways, moving on. We are on to our last game. At least for the timeline. I'm sure there's still more that we're gonna want to talk about and discuss in terms of Zelda. But now we move on to where the true calamity awakens, eternal recurrence is ensured. Tiraco is built to prevent recurrence from happening again. And this is indeed Tears of the Kingdom.
Super great. No worries. I will say this game outdid itself. It outdid Breath of the Wild by a long shot for me. If you give like Breath of the Wild like a good A, like A rank, then Tears of the Kingdom an S rank.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom was so good. I loved the mechanics, the, you know, fusing your weapons, and like ascending. That would have been so fucking useful in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you in Breath of the Wild you could move the objects like you can in Tears of the Kingdom, but I felt like it was just so much more smoother in Tears of the Kingdom than it was in Breath of the Wild. And then I do like the fact that the map is still pretty much the same, like everything's in the same spot, but things have happened to those spots that changes it. Like, you know, in Kakariko Village, like the little things in the sky, and then the little changes that they made in order to like give it a different vibe than Breath of the Wild were great. Like, even if they were barely noticeable, it made a difference.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Made it interesting for sure. To go back and be like, oh yeah, this spot. Oh, this is a little different. This is cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like, exploring all these areas again was really nice and all. I do have one very minute complaint about the game. And that is, I feel like that there was a little too much to explore this time around. Because you had all the islands in the sky. You had literally all those fucking cave systems. And then you had the advanced darkness.
Advanced darkness?
Right. And I just felt like there was a lot, and I just felt like it was a little too much. It might just be me, but
I think that's a valid opinion to have, honestly. It was a lot. Like, I was, like they said in the depths section, when I found it, I was like, what in the fuck? I was like, where? I was so enamored and also very fucking scared. Like,
I remember, so the day that it released, Winter and I both took off of work and we sat in the Discord and played at 15, 16, 17 hours that day. And I remember finding the little hole that led you down to the depths, and I'm like, oh, Winter, what's this? And he's like, I don't know, go check. So I dropped down and I'm like, and it was right on top of a fucking oh my god, the half horse guy. What
Lionel?
Yeah, Lionel. It was right on top of a Lionel. So they started fucking shooting at me, and I'm like, what? He's like, I can't help you. And
it is a terrifying experience to just get dropped in there without knowing what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I 100% avoided that until I got every single shrine and stuff on the main, level, because I had eventually come to realize that all the light routes were directly underneath shrines. So it was a little bit easier, because I could just, find a shrine on the map and then go down to the depths map and mark where the light route would be.
Yeah, that's really cool detail about it. It's just like a full negative version of Hyrule, completely inside out, upside down.
Yeah, it was really cool once I got over the fear of everything that was in there, the fucking, because you could face the bosses down there again.
Oh, and the flying guy, the fucking ice flying thing, when he's in the depths, I was scared out of my mind.
I was just, going around exploring, and all of a sudden fucking boss music starts, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then his name pops on the screen, and I'm like, what?
It's the worst. It's the worst.
What do I hear? Boss music?
Yeah, I'm like,
It's the worst when you're walking around and you're like, is that something moving in the darkness? It's right there, and you just catch glimpses of it. And you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
and
it's like, it's horrible. It's horrifying.
It's horrifying in the best way, though. It really makes you feel things. It was that whole thing was so ambitious of them to do. What we're expecting for sure, a second layer of the map would be the sky. And we're like, okay, that's really cool. We have 2 layers now, and you've come to find out there's a whole entire third full fucking layer that's even bigger than the sky layer. And I was like, what the?
And they as much as I hated it because I don't like the complete darkness, they really did so good with it. The aspect of anywhere that there is rivers and stuff above are the walls, and the fucking coliseums that you could battle in, the one with all the Lionels.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And then finding the fucking King Gleeok den. I shit myself because I wasn't expecting it. And then all of a sudden this fucking 3-headed, 3 different element dragon comes at me, and I'm like, what the
Gleeoks are sick.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they were really cool. I avoided them for a long time because I couldn't figure out how to fight them. And then when I remembered, because my dumb brain didn't want to work, that you could fuse things to your arrows too, and you fuse a Keith's eyeball or any eyeball to it, and it goes straight for where you're aiming. It'll zigzag to the eye, to hit it, the target. And it's you can down those things instantly with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool little details you can make the fights easier for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No. I will share one of my absolute favorite moments from this game. And that was, I get a message from my uncle Saturday. And he was talking about how he needed another Lionel horn. And he was talking, he's like, I'm going to quote this from him exactly. I missed the early Tears of the Kingdom glitches and dupes, which wasn't too bad. Made the game longer, but now I get YouTube videos now and then it says newest, easiest glitch ever. And these are Stand here at 2:15 p.m. on a Tuesday that's exactly 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Wait until a rabid chipmunk farts, and then take 2 steps left, 1 step back, and do the Macarena. Then hit start and watch 3 movies, then restart the game. Immediately drop 31.4 items. You must drop 31.4 items after this. Do 11 backflips and then remove Link's pants. Then hit BX, 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 and throw any Zonai device. After this, sing La Cucaracha and pause and unpause 12 times. After this, the next item you drop will go up by 1 instead of down. It's so easy.
That's so ridiculous.
And like
That's great.
Seriously?
And like he was talking, and it was like, I went into this hoping to dupe a Lionel Horn, but then I went out thinking like it's easier to just go kill the fucking things again. And he sent me a video. And I watched this video from start to finish, and he does not exaggerate. He's like, oh, this is the easiest glitch ever. Just watch. First, you have to go to Kakariko Village. You have to go find a horse. It has to be a small horse. It can't be a big horse. You have to catch this small horse, and you have to drop it at this exact location. Then you have to go underneath Kakariko Village and find a like. At that point, once you find your like, you have to wait until the like attacks you, and then pick up an item the moment that it attacks you. It cannot be a second too late or too soon. If you succeed, the like's going to spit you out and you're going to be invisible. But you can't do anything. You have to wait until the like eats you again and spit you back out for you to become visible again. Once you get all of that done, you have to go back to Kakariko Village and get back to your horse. At that one point in time, you have to open your menu and watch a cutscene. The moment that you finish watching the cutscene, you have to open your menu exactly and grab 1 apple. If you do it right, then you're going to drop the apple, and the apple's just going to stay there and move, and it's going to move the horse 3 inches forward. If you're too fast, the apple's just gonna blow, or if you're too slow, the apple's just gonna blow away with the wind. If you're too fast, the horse isn't gonna move, and the apple's just gonna stay stuck in your inventory. If this happens, then you have to repeat this process. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like you have to do this step 5 times in order to get the horse as close as you can to this gate, where you can just drop your item and pick it up again. It's so easy. I'm like, bro,
yeah,
fucking
that's not
rocket
easy.
science is easier than this.
Dude, the one glitch that I tried it just for shits and giggles because it was all over my TikTok was like you had to shield surf, but like drop an item as you were getting ready to hit the ground with your shield, and it would multiply, which worked. It worked. I fucking got a shit ton of diamonds doing that. And that was like the easiest glitch that I'd ever like seen for the game. And then yeah, there's glitches like, oh, you have to be on top of this building at this time of day, jump off, and you have to make it to this point of the map by this time of day. If you don't, you have to go back and do it all over again. And it's like,
but it's so easy.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's easy.
easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I did work on the duplication glitch too. I duplicated a bunch of white line stuff because I was fuck it. And also diamonds, but in Zonite too, whenever I needed it, I'd stock up on like 999 Zonite.
I just did diamonds, and I would stock up to 999 and then go sell them. And then buy all the clothes and like armor and all that shit. And then would stock up on more in case cause then I would go around buying like out all the bombs and all the like arrows from like all the places that you can buy them from, and I would buy the fish and the food and stuff. And my best friend came over and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing? How do you have so many diamonds?" And I'm like, "I go into the caves and get diamonds." And he's like, "You cannot get that many diamonds." I'm sitting there with like 600 diamonds when he comes over and he's like, "There's no way." And I'm like, "It's possible if you just believe."
Chris. But yeah, I wanted to bring one final thing on the Tears of the Kingdom is the dungeons were a lot better than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
fucking yes.
They were
dungeons
a lot better.
were so good. My favorite, as weird as it sounds to say, was the Thunder Temple. Like the bugs and like the Gibdos, just like no thank you. But it was such like a heavy like.
It gave the dungeon vibes back.
Yeah. It was like full on like, almost like I was in the Spirit Temple and Ocarina of Time type of vibe.
I thought there were redeads at first when I first saw the fucking Gibdos. I was like, what the fuck are redeads back? They look very redead like.
They do. And
but yeah, they're really cool though. Like I liked how they give the flying variants too.
Yeah.
And the bosses this time around were super challenging. They were like very unique, very creative. Like I struggled with the bosses quite a bit until I could figure out their pattern. That's one thing that I want out of bosses is I want to sit there and wipe and learn the mechanics of them so I can better understand how to beat them.
Yeah, I feel that. I remember losing to the Thunder Temple one like 3 times before I actually got it, I think.
Oh god, that was me with the Fire Temple one. Like, it was like Goma, but like rock hard Goma. And it was
rock hard.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, and then the fucking Goron that you like go down there with, like, he doesn't aim for shit. And it's like, you're no help. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're going up into La La Land when I need you to go up her fucking ass. Like,
my favorite area was definitely the first dungeon they make you try to go to with direction was the Sky Temple.
Just because how you got up there.
The Sky Temple was fun, but I struggle bust really fucking hard. Like, you can ask Bree. I was getting frustrated, like, because I forgot that you got that one ability that makes you go through, and I was trying to figure out how to climb up it like a fucking dumbass. Yeah, for me, I love like the journey up there.
Yeah, the journey up there was amazing. I was a dum-dum, though, when I went up to it, because that was the first one I did, too, and forgot to bring food to keep, like, the freezing cold from happening, so I kept having to go back into the fucking building so I wouldn't die from the cold. And Winter was like, go down and make food, and I'm like, no, never!
I know, she was persistent.
And I did it. Like, I beat that fucking boss without the help of any type of food. But god damn it, I died like 5,000 times. But I still did it.
I liked how the dungeons didn't just take 30 minutes like the old, like in Breath of the Wild. They took like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like your first run through, at least. I know, like now that you know how to play, it should probably take you less than that. But yeah, like when you were learning it for the first time, it was like a 2-hour.
And the Sky Boss, though, the Sky Boss was so fun. Like, I love the concept of her.
Yeah. I will say the Spirit Temple boss.
The fucking boxing ring with the fucking...
I could not figure it out. Like, I remember sitting here just doing it, and I kept yelling, like, why the fuck can't I get it? And Anthony's like, just calm down, take a breath. And I'm like, no, this should be easy. I'm like, I've done all other 4 temples. Why am I struggling? And then I realized I was literally doing it wrong. And once I figured out that I was doing it wrong and I did it right, first try. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah. Fucking... So I think I had trouble with that one too. I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I doing wrong here? You know, like you just have to like get that light bulb moment.
Right.
Well, and then I wasn't expecting there to be the Spirit Temple, and then I'm like, you know, finishing up the storyline, and then we're all meeting back at the Lookout Tower, and they're like, oh, there's a 5th sage, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
No.
That was awesome. They're like, more game? Yes, please.
Right? I was so stoked. It took me forever to fucking find it, though.
I found it ahead of time on accident. I was exploring the depths. I was mapping it out early in the game, and I flew there with my air bike, and I was like, Spirit Temple? What the fuck? Like, I found it so early. I was like, what is this? And then I couldn't get in. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to wait for later. And then it came out later. I was like, oh wow, that's fucking crazy.
Right, yeah, no, I had no idea it was there. And then the Forgotten Temple, where, like, the goddess statue is like knocked over and stuff, and you have to go through that with Impa and stuff. That was really cool to me.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And then like the fact of like the fucking dragon tears.
Oh, those were freaking amazing.
I loved that concept. Like, they did so good with, having to find them and then the lore that you get with them. Like, once I found out that was a thing, that's all I focused on. Like, I only did the dragon tears.
Learning, like, what happened with Zelda was so, like, saddening for me.
Oh, I know. And then, high spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't played it, finding out where the Master Sword was.
Oh, yeah.
I shit my pants. I shitted it.
It's like right in front of your face, right off the bat in the beginning of the game. You see the dragon when you first in the Skyland, and you're like, cool dragon.
Yeah, it's like, it's in Zelda's fucking head? What? And then when you're in the Deku tree, though, I was not expecting that. I dropped down thinking it's gonna be like what it was in Breath of the Wild, and then all of a sudden these fucking gloom hands are coming at me. And I'm like,
gloom hands, so good.
Oh my god, those were terrible. And then you beat them, and then all of a sudden, boom, there pops a fucking Phantom Ganon, and it's like, what?
That was scary.
Oh,
like,
dude, I screamed.
The Phantom Ganon fights were like really nice touches to add to everything. Like, oh yeah, and speaking of fucking Ganondorf, that final fight was probably, it might be my favorite Ganondorf fight.
I 100% agree. Like,
what about you, Winter? What do you think about that whole Ganondorf fight?
You know, to tell you the truth, I haven't fought Ganon yet in this one.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, then we shouldn't speak anymore.
Yeah.
No, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
You're welcome to.
I mean, it is a really good fight. I want you to experience it without spoilers. If you think you're gonna get to it soon.
Okay.
Because it is good.
It rivals the Twilight Princess Ganondorf fight for me. That's how good it is for me.
Oh man.
I agree.
And one of the questions I was gonna ask is, what was your favorite final boss? But I guess that was kind of answered.
Well, I mean, if it comes to not the final boss, I'll say I'd probably be the Thunder Temple with the Gibdo Queen, but then Kulgera is very
boss,
close.
Like final boss of the game.
Oh, of every game that's ever happened, what we're talking about, right?
Like Ganon fight, body fight, like fucking what's his name?
Majora fight.
Like Majora, Melodius.
I will say I genuinely was surprised with the Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf fight in the vaguest way possible. It surprised me like 3 times. Usually with the Ganondorf fight, you're like, yeah, I kind of get what's gonna happen. You're gonna hit back his energy back and forth, or whatever, or like you're just gonna slash him with swords. But like there's some pretty cool things he does. Where you're like, what the fuck? Ganondorf can do that?
Yeah, dude. When I figured that out, when it first happened, I was like, excuse me?
Only I can do this?
Yeah, Ganon's not allowed to do that!
Yeah, exactly. Akin to healing in mid-fight, Winter, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Like, it's such a cool thing that happens, like, when it happens to you, it's gonna be great.
They really outdid themselves with the final Ganon boss battle.
Bottle.
Yeah. I will say...
It's a final Ganon bottle.
Yeah. I will say though, the very, very final version of the Ganon battle was not there for me. It was cool. They could have made it better though, if that makes sense.
It was a huge spectacle, right? I will say that too. Like, it was a huge spectacle, and I was more enamored by like, whoa, what the fuck, like. But yeah, like mechanically, it was a little bit like,
It was lackluster.
But
Like,
yeah,
I want to go into more detail because I'm so glad that somebody else feels the same way. But I really want Winter to experience this without any type of huge spoilers.
Okay. That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah, and then the runner-up fight, I will say, is Twilight Princess Ganondorf. Super cool. That's like a like multi-phase, like what, four-piece fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Twilight Princess he's got the big like bowl thing.
Well, he starts out capturing Zelda's body.
Yeah, you do. So you do Zelda's body, then the bowl, and then you're out in the field with Zelda on your horse shooting at him. And then you battle him in like the little arena, right?
Yeah, that's four phases then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I gotta
like
say
that's a
the
really
sword
good fight.
with Ganon and Twilight Princess is probably my favorite. With
when you're like
knowledgeable bosses, like the boss, knowing the boss fights, Samurai Ganon though is top one.
See, I love the Twilight Princess Ganon battle because you could beat him with a fucking fishing rod.
I didn't know that. That's
yes,
funny.
you can beat him with a fucking fishing rod.
Now, my second favorite boss though is definitely the train from Spirit Tracks.
The train.
The train from Spirit Tracks.
I have to say that my favorite, like, final boss, it's probably gonna be obvious, but I loved Majora. I loved that the mask had so much behind it. Like, it was more than... Yeah, it was more than just a mask. The dancing version of it, though, that one pissed me off.
I think Majora is definitely my third favorite boss, and I think just because of the humor behind it, especially like on that one YouTuber that I showed when he was going through Majora's Mask, and he's like, "Man, this fight couldn't get lower than this, right?" And he was just like getting like fucking booty slapped by the Majora and kept getting knocked down. He's like, "Well, I guess it did get lower than that, didn't it?"
I guess it did.
But Majora is definitely number 3 for me.
I loved the fact that it was more than just a mask.
You're very much an entity.
I really thought that they were gonna make it like one version of him was gonna be you fighting him while he's like still controlling Skull Kid. So you were gonna initially fight Skull Kid. I was really hoping for that.
All right, you guys continue. I gotta use the restroom real quick. PRP.
Okay.
All right. So how much shit can we talk about Trouz before he's back?
We have like 10 seconds.
Oh, I can get so much out. Oh. But yeah, the final bosses, they have definitely, like, I thought for sure when I first started playing Zelda that they were all gonna be like the same at the end. Like, it was just gonna be you go in and fight Ganon and blah blah blah. No, but they really differentiate their battles.
Yeah.
They make them like custom to the game, and it's so nice.
Right. And I think like my least favorite. Good gosh. I kind of want to wait for Trouz to come back on this one. But yeah, so definitely number 1 would be Samurai Ganon from Twilight Princess. Number 2, the train. I think King Maladus. King Maladus is the one who's the train. And then Majora are definitely my top 3 final bosses.
My top 3 would definitely be Majora, and then Zelda, like when Ganon has Zelda under his control in Twilight Princess. And then, as much as it weirds me out to say it, I think Ocarina of Time's Ganon, when you're doing the baseball back and forth, that's got to be my 3rd. Just because I love that you could use a bottle Or the sword.
And a Zelda game just is not a Zelda game without a nice little game of life and death ping pong.
Exactly.
Life and death ping pong.
I mean, think about it. Every Zelda game has it.
Except
Every
for a
Zelda.
few, but
We'll name the few.
except for a few.
Name the few.
Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Wait, Breath of the Wild has it, or no?
Pretty sure they do somewhere.
I think. I don't think so.
We'll have to do some research in this one.
But yeah, it's
There's
literally
like ping pong.
life and death ping pong.
Wouldn't be
Life and death
right of
ping
them to
pong.
break tradition. Well, I mean, like it was in. I think it was in the original Zelda. I have no fucking clue about Zelda 2, but Link to the Past, it was fighting Aghanim. Ocarina of Time, it was fighting Ganon and Phantom Ganon.
Yep.
I don't remember about Majora's Mask, if there was one. Maybe they did break tradition there.
Yeah, no, they didn't have that in Majora's Mask.
Okay, well,
Because-
what do I know?
Because you don't face Adalwa. When you face Adalwa, he doesn't do it. Georg is your fucking Goron Link, and you're rolling around like a fucking lunatic. Georg, no, and then
That's when it's next
Twin-
now.
yeah, and then
What about your
Majora
mini
doesn't do it.
bosses? What about your mini bosses?
Mini bosses.
Not in Woodfall.
I'd probably say the mini boss in Arbiter's Grounds, that creepy sorcerer demon dude.
God, I loved him.
Anyways,
Just his fucking look, so good.
so I'm wrong.
Is Zant considered like a mid boss?
I
Or a big
mean,
boss or mid boss who does it. It's just there's just got to be a game of life and death ping pong.
Does Zant play ping pong with you in there?
I thought he did.
I know that Zelda does to you. The body of Zelda.
oh my god! And then I felt so fucking bad for beating the fuck out of her with a goddamn sword. I'm like, I'm so sorry, Zelda. Forgive me.
You're beating up the prettiest Zelda.
I know.
Now, Trouz, the question for you is, what are your top 3 favorite final boss fights?
Definitely Tears of the Kingdom's probably the first one for Ganondorf. Then Ganondorf for Twilight Princess.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could consider Zant probably, maybe.
I think Zant was.
He's like almost.
Yeah.
So I loved his kookiness and how frantic everything was in that one. But yeah, those are probably my 3.
Okay. Very, very, very solid choices. Well, now we have the question is, who were your best and worst bosses?
Oh Lord.
So,
We're
just in general, I'll take the play on this one first. So, my favorite boss, and Bree, it's gonna be spoiled for you, Bree, but you can't let the rest of the group know on this one, because I don't know who else is listening in. My favorite boss is Jalhala, and I'm having him as one of our potential bosses in our D&D group.
Yes.
Now, do you know who Jalhala is, Chaz?
Nope.
Okay. Jalhala is a ghost in the Earth Temple in Wind Waker. So
Oh, I see him. This big chongus. I remember him.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm gonna have my D&D group go against him since technically with how I have the world set up, it's canon.
Nice.
So, haha. Fucking nerds. The boss that got me the most frustrated, though, I'd still say he's a good boss fight, like solid boss fight. But fuck, I hated fighting him. Was the fucking skeleton Stalfos fuck in Twilight in the Arbiter's Grounds? No, was it Arbiter's Grounds in Twilight Princess that you had to use the top to
Oh,
fight
you
him?
don't like that fight?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like it. He was my most frustrating boss ever. I wanted to cry when I was fighting him because I kept fucking up somehow or another.
It was when you were spinning on the wall, right? Where you're like on the side while you're spinning over
It
and
wasn't
over and
just
over.
the
And you have to...
wall. It was also on the ground when the fucking skeletons would pop up. Like, I don't know what kept happening, but fucking they would just pop up at the right spot to where I bounced away from them. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Right meow. Yeah,
So-
I could see why that'd be frustrating.
He was definitely my worst boss. Not saying he's a bad boss at all. If we're talking bad bosses, then yeah, the anglerfish from Link's Awakening definitely takes the cake on that one. And then I'll also say like another stupid boss is the green Choo Choo from Minish Cap.
Green Choo Choo.
So him and the anglerfish are tied for worst, least favorite boss. Okay, so Bree, what is your favorite boss, your most frustrating boss, and your least favorite boss?
All right. So it's probably going to be weird because none of my favorite bosses come from Majora's Mask.
What?
Seriously.
That's fair. Who'd want to like Aldolwa?
Or Georg, or whatever the fuck it Gold, or yeah. No. So my favorite
I'm watching Charles. He's got like a thinker face on right now. Like,
I'm really thinking right now, like,
so my all-time favorite boss is in Skyward Sword, and it's Clocktos.
Clocktos.
That is the
clock toes. Yeah.
he is the ancient animatronic thing in the Ancient Cistern. He's the final boss in the Ancient Cistern.
Yeah.
And you have to use the whip to like pull his arms off, and then you pick up the big swords that he has, and you go smash him in the heart. And it is a fucking an amazing boss battle. I loved it. The music was great. The atmosphere was great. It was the perfect boss battle for the temple. Like, everything about that battle was flawless to me.
It's like picking up the Dark Nuts' like swords in Twilight Princess. It's like big, oversized, cool sword.
Yeah. And it was so cool because then like you get to the second phase and he grows legs, and so you have to like whip him and like get a sword and then go up and like smash his legs out from underneath him, and then you have to hit the heart. So they gradually make it more tough, but still make it fun. Like, because he starts off with 6 arms, and he'll throw 3 of them down, and you have to whip all of them in order for the sword to fall. And then you grab the sword, and you go up and whoosh, 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 whoosh in his heart. And you do that like 3 times, and then he goes into his second phase, and then he'll throw his arms down, and then you have to go knock his legs out from it was so good. So good.
It's so good.
It's so good. So that's my all-time favorite boss. I think my most frustrating boss just because of the mechanic. It's also from Skyward Sword. Is Tantalus.
Oh.
The sand ship boss.
You mean Cecilia
was-
from Monsters Inc.?
Yeah. It was so frustrating because, you know, his tentacles come up through the thing, and you can't just go up and slash them. You have to use a Skyward Strike, and half the time, if you get even like just a centimeter too close, he'll grab you and you'll lose it. He'll throw you and he'll go blah, 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 and it's terrible.
It's such a Monster Incorporated looking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cilia.
I was so frustrated. And then when you get to the second phase, you have to climb up, and then his little hair comes at you like Medusa snakes, and it's stupid. They could have did so much better for a sand ship boss battle. So much better. And then I think my most hated boss, and I probably will get a lot of hate for this because a lot of people liked it, and I don't know why, is the Arachnid in Twilight Princess, the Temple of Time final boss. It's a big, giant spider.
Yeah.
I don't like spitters. No, thank you.
I don't remember
That
that
is-
fight. Maybe I'll come
That
up
is the absolute worst boss battle for me. Like, I almost quit the entire game just because of that boss battle. Because it was a fucking spider!
Oh, Twilight Arachnid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
It was
just
a-
Goma, just in high def.
It was terrible. Goma doesn't look like a spider, though. Like, this one actually looks like... And he crawls at you, and he's got his little thingies that go... it's so bad.
Yeah, that spider is disgusting for sure.
He just goes...
Oh, God, it was... so bad. I hated it. Yeah, so those are my three.
Trouz, you got to think her face off there?
Yeah, so I'd say my favorite might be from Tears of the Kingdom. I was thinking about how I felt fighting, because I said I really liked the desert boss, but the pure elation I felt fighting the Colgera, though, was a lot different, I feel. Like, because it was my first boss in the game that I was going to, and it was in the fucking sky, all badass. The music was sick. It was like Blizzard, you know, fighting an ice dragon, and that was like the coolest thing to me.
I have Colgera.
So the Colgera fight actually might be my favorite, just because I was like, holy shit, you know, like I felt that feeling in my stomach when I was in the sky and like diving into, you know, shooting the arrows at him in slow motion.
I just dove my body straight through it.
you could do that, yeah. I was using the fire arrows, I think, to shoot him, but I liked how he would like get pissed off, go into his like little wormhole, and come back out and start shooting his ice tornadoes at you, and that was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
And then fighting him again in the depths made it even cooler. Like just fighting him in complete darkness, I thought that was sick. So, yeah, he's probably my favorite boss. Most frustrating boss. Let me think here. I was thinking of some of the Link to the Past fights I did. Do you remember which? I can't remember the name of the creature. You probably remember, based on my frustration, which one it was.
Let's see here.
Which one?
A Link to the Past. There's a...
You didn't...
I don't know if it...
You didn't struggle with Blind. Like, you tore Blind apart like nothing. So...
I'm trying to remember.
I think it was...
Was
it wasn't
Probably because he was
Mothra.
blind.
Was it
Sorry.
Mothra? The moth and the like the platform underneath was moving and the fucking spikes kept going around. No, you hated that dungeon in general. You didn't hate the boss. You hated the dungeon.
Yeah, the dungeon I didn't like.
You
That one,
fucking pissed at the
I didn't.
dungeon.
I'm trying to remember. I can't. There was one of them I remember having just such a bad time with. But once you figure it out, it gets a little easier, you know. I'm gonna look up all the.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look up like all the bosses in Link to the Past. Like, you didn't struggle with Armos Knights. You didn't struggle with Lenmolis. You tore apart Moldorm. I don't remember
actually
your battle with Helma's King.
I think the thief guy. I think that guy was having. I think that was the one.
You struggled. Like, I think you got frustrated, but I thought you tore him apart easily.
No, I remember. I think with this guy, I wasn't sure what to do for like 5 deaths or more. That's when I can remember that little red demon dude with the white thing on.
Maybe.
And also the worm guys took me a little bit. It was just kind of aiming for, but I think it was that guy. I remember for sure one of the bosses just fucking made me want to stop playing. But like I said, it was frustrating. It was more so not knowing what the fuck to do for so long. And most hated boss, probably just because it's so fucking boring. Probably the from Breath of the Wild, the fucking fire guy. He was easy as shit.
Yeah.
He would start charging up his fireball, and you could just pop him in the eye, and he stops, and then you keep hitting him, and it was just so boring. Like, I just hated that. I was such a stupid ending to that dungeon. I was like, oh man, it was cool to get into the volcano, and it was all dark, and it was like, whoa, this is interesting. But then you fight the boss. He comes out. He's just a big fiery dude, and he tries to like hit you with his fucking best spirit bomb, and he can never do it because he sucks. And I just didn't like it. Like
I wanted more from it.
Yeah, like it sucks because he was boring. Like a boring boss fight is something I can't really stand behind.
Yeah.
So he's probably the most hated.
I've had my fair share of boring boss fights.
Yeah, so he's definitely up there for like. I'll never want to fight him again unless I fucking have to.
Well.
And I don't even think you have to if you think about it. You could just skip him.
Yeah.
You don't give a shit about the story.
You can technically skip everything in Breath of the Wild. We've come to terms on that.
Yeah.
Is it smart? No, but you can.
Yeah.
But you can, and a lot of people do.
Well, at this point, I have just one more question. What about everybody's favorite song from Zelda?
I had mentioned this before. I mentioned this before when we were talking about Twilight Princess and Skull Kid coming back in the Lost Woods. That rendition of the Lost Woods is my favorite. It brings forth so many feelings of like bittersweetness. Like I feel sad, but also nostalgic and happy. And like it's just the somberness of it all. Like it's such a cool take on the happy-go-lucky Lost Woods theme that's normally really uppity and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just a little, in a sense, depressing. So I don't know. I really like that feeling of melancholy very much. It just makes me think of like cold winter mornings or some shit. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, that's why my favorite song.
What about you, Bree?
So I think. So I technically have two. One is a song that you actually play, which my favorite one that you actually like play is probably New Wave Bossa Nova. That's your key to get into the Water Temple in Majora's Mask. I love that one, and I love like the little cutscene when you're learning it. The little Zora guppies that they make the notes, and it's just It's beautiful.
Get to play a fishbone guitar or whatever.
Yeah. I think my favorite like background song. I don't know. I think I have to go with Clocktown just because it's so uppity, and like I want to live there because of the song that's playing. Yeah, it's catchy.
And you'll wake up from sleep and do.
Would you clam up?
Right? Like, but like at the same time, it was like that's really the first song that you hear in that game, and it's catchy. It's really catchy. I catch myself humming it all the time. I mean, it doesn't help that it's also one of my ringtones, so you know, it's whatever. But
So, my favorite song of all time also comes from Majora's Mask. I am a huge fan, and Bree knows this very much so. I fucking stand for the Deku Palace theme.
Oh.
I
was almost thinking you were gonna say the observatory.
No. I like Deku Palace is my thing. I love that song. I will jam to it so fucking much. And I've shown Brie like all the remixes that I found. And I'm like, here, listen to this one. Send it to her. Isn't it great? Isn't it cool? And like,
yeah, the Deku Palace theme is definitely, it's another catchy one.
but like I wouldn't even say a close second. Like, it's my second, but it's by far, by a long shot, my second favorite would be Stone Tower Temple.
It's a good one too.
Stand for some good Stone Tower Temple.
I really feel like Majora's Mask did so good with the soundtrack.
Yeah, the OST for that one was pretty damn good.
Except for the boss battle music and the fucking Woodfall Temple. All you hear is Adalawa, 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 and I'm like, shut up already.
And when it starts chanting, da 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 da.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You gotta love the old jungle tribes, man.
Jungle tribes.
All he's trying to do is just jungle tribe things. He's probably one of those people, like, you know, he probably would have left you alone if you didn't just go in there and just fucking kick his ass. Like, all he was doing was just chanting away, like dancing to the campfire, and here you are, just invading his territory.
You're invading his territory and throwing nuts at him.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'd react the same way too. I'd be like, bitch, get the fuck out.
My house.
That's all the questions that I have, though. I mean, we've pretty much covered like the timeline, covered all the games. Discussed our favorite bosses, discussed our least favorite bosses, our songs. Do you guys have any questions for the group?
I do want to pose a question
Okay.
to everybody. If you were to suggest any one Zelda game for anyone to play that hasn't tried Zelda, which one would you choose?
Ooh. I honestly would probably push them to Ocarina of Time, to be honest. I think that would have like I think that one has like a very solid ground. It kind of goes over the story about a young hero and kind of gives you a little bit of a background about Ganondorf. So that way, like, when people would go into another game, like Link to the Past, I mean, they're going to know who Ganondorf is or who Ganon is, and they're going to be like, well, this whole time we were talking about this bitch Aghanim or Agatha or whatever the fuck her name was. Who's Ganon? But at least, you know, with Ocarina of Time, it gives you the base idea of who this big bad is that you see in all these other games.
Yeah, the context is a little important, right?
It really is. because you play Legend of Zelda and you're like, who the fuck's this pig guy? Like, why is he the big bad?
What about you, Bree?
See, that one's hard for me. Because I want to wholeheartedly say Majora's Mask, but I also don't want to throw somebody in who's never played a Zelda into a game that has like a constricting time limit, and it really doesn't give a whole lot to the Zelda world. So I really think I have to go with either Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess. And I say Skyward Sword because in the timeline, it is the first game, so you do get a lot of, you know, your lore and like background on what happened and stuff like that. But then Twilight Princess, you do get the Ganon lore and all that. And where Ganon is a big boss in a lot of the Zelda games, you need some type of Ganon lore, because you're going to go into other Zelda games, you're going to be like, okay, who the fuck is Ganon?
Yeah.
He wasn't in this game. He wasn't in that game. So it's a toss-up between those two, because I want the people to get the lore that Skyward Sword has, but I also want them to know who Ganon is and why Ganon is the big bad, because you get a lot of that in Twilight Princess.
And I do kind of agree with this. Like I'm still sticking with Ocarina of Time for my decision. But, like, throwing somebody into Majora's Mask, you're throwing them into a game where you're doing a one-of. Like, they're going to see, like, the story is based on Link going away from his home area, from Hyrule, to go find something or somebody. And you're coming up across the Skull Kid, and well, the Skull Kid's like, okay, this is a boss. They're going to envision that that's going to be the boss that they're going to see almost all the time, when it's in fact not. You're going to see him once, and that's in Majora's Mask. And then that's the end of that. Where, yeah, if you go into, like, Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess, you're going to get the lore of who the big bad is. I don't think you're going to get any lore out of Skyward Sword, even though that is technically the first game. That would give you the information about, like, how the Master Sword was formed and all that kind of jazz, about how it's like the bane of evil's existence or whatever. Is this right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll give you the lore about how the Master Sword procured.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, story implications to think about before you suggest one of these games, because there's so many. You know?
Yeah, there is so many, and there's so many different, like we just discussed, there's so many different timelines, but you also got to think about when you're telling somebody to try out this series, you want to give them a game that's going to have the final boss that is in a lot of the games. Like, Ganon he's in Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, he's in, Wind Waker, you know, he's in
Link to the Past.
He's in a majority of the games, so you want somebody to be playing a game that's gonna have him there, so they know who that is. But at the same time, there's other games that give more lore and more, like, background to why Link is doing this, and, you know, how Hyrule became Hyrule, and stuff like that. So it's a really hard decision when you're trying to throw out an idea of, oh, you should play this game series, but where do I have you start? Do I have you start at the beginning of the timeline and follow the timeline? Or do I just have you play a game that everybody likes and it's gonna have lore in it, like Ocarina of Time, where you're gonna understand Ganon and how Ganon came to be and why he's trying to take over Hyrule and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think there's also, for, like, let's just dig deeper into there, like a third element that I think is important. So my choice would have been Twilight Princess, because not only does it have, you know, a lot of Ganondorf stuff and also lore, but it also has a lot of the best parts of Zelda in it, like just how the dungeons work, all the cool gadgets you get, all the puzzles you have to solve from everything, the environmentals, just the environmental storytelling and the puzzles you do there on the outside where you're exploring. It's just like a lot of exploring, a lot of cool like tight puzzle dungeon stuff, and a lot of really cool gadgets that you can mess around with, and I think that's really important too, to have all that kind of stuff as well. So I think Twilight Princess has like all that pretty much covered, That's how I feel about it. It may be my favorite, and I may be biased, of course, but
yeah, that's fair.
Well, and I mean that's why I said what I said. Like, I would wholeheartedly want somebody to play Majora's Mask.
I mean,
but I think I'm saying that just because it is my favorite.
If I was going to be biased, I would have easily gone with Wind Waker. Wind Waker does provide a good chunk of lore about Ganon, especially at the beginning of the game, about what he has done and what he has caused, and who Link is and who he is to be. And even like going further into the game, you go into Old Hyrule Castle, you learned what exactly happened about how the world came to be. But the problem is that this game is going to explain how Link was triumphant as a hero, but Ganon came back and sealed Hyrule and caused the world to be flooded. So I could have easily gone with Wind Waker on my part to say, but this it's telling the story about how Link was victorious, but Ganon got out of the Sacred Realm.
Yeah. That is a really hard question to answer.
Yeah, I figured it'd be a good one to end on because like there's so much to it, so much to Zelda. Like it's hard to like give a newbie like an entry point.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, like, because as much as I love Tears of the Kingdom, I wouldn't want somebody to start on Tears of the Kingdom. Like, because there's so much that they're missing when they're not playing any of the other ones.
Yeah, and like even starting on Breath of the Wild, like you're waking up and it's just like, oh, there's a mysterious voice trying to wake you up. But like, do they really go into a lot of lore about Ganon, or do they just talk about Calamity Ganon and how they're preparing to try to stop the Calamity?
Yeah.
So Tears,
welcome back, Oddity.
Tears and Breath are definitely off that list.
Yeah, there's no way I would start somebody brand new on Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
They're definitely more so of a seasoned Zelda fan kind of, game. If you've never played them before somehow, like if you've had like a good like 3 to 4 Zeldas under your belt, I'd say you could appreciate Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
So I think pretty much the agreement here is either like Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess. More favor in Twilight Princess. So
yeah, like I said, I would, being somebody who would want to start at like the beginning of the descent down. If they wanted to do that, obviously we're gonna start with Skyward Sword. Like, if I wanted Anthony to try Zelda out for the first time, I wouldn't put him into Skyward Sword because there's a lot to it. And yeah, you get a lot of lore. I would probably lean more towards starting him on Twilight Princess. Maybe Ocarina of Time, but he's watched me play Ocarina of Time and he's kind of like, what?
Yeah.
But
So
I
those of you
feel
at
like,
home listening right now, fucking Twilight Princess is based.
Yeah.
and I feel like Twilight Princess will give off that vibe to newbies that's like, this is a really good game series. Maybe I want to try out more.
Yeah.
But we also
exactly.
got to reiterate that not every Zelda game is like that. Every Zelda game is different, but it all comes back to that one thing of, why is this game happening? Like, is it because Link failed, up here, and that's why this is happening, kind of thing. So, yeah, God,
This
I never
is a really
thought I would
good
be
question,
asked that
Trouz.
question. Yeah, I was like, I never thought I'd
This
be
is
asked
a
that question.
Really, really good question.
Hell yeah.
I mean, do you have any questions for us or the community, Bree? Any questions?
No, actually, I
Oh no.
my brain is kind of flunked because of Trouz's question, because that was like a difficult question to think about. No, because we went over everything I wanted to talk about Majora's Mask, so
Yeah.
like that was what I was excited for. I was so excited to talk about Majora's Mask.
Well, we let you have the spotlight.
I did. I feel bad because I talked. That is my
No,
favorite game. I could talk forever about it.
It's okay. We promise. Like, if it was a
Yeah, that's
problem,
why
we
we-
wouldn't have brought you on here.
Yeah, that's why we brought you on.
Well, and I appreciate you guys for having me. I had a lot of fun being able to talk about the game series that has brought me so much joy to life.
Yeah, it's fucking a great ass series, and you were one of the perfect candidates to join us on this. Essentially, like, we're gushing the whole time, but it's fine. It's like,
But it's nice to have people to gush about my favorite series with.
Absolutely.
Because, like, Anthony will listen, but he doesn't understand. Like, he doesn't know what's going on. You two, like, I mean, Trouz has only played a couple of them, but I played a couple of them.
He played a lot of them with his eyeballs.
Yeah, which is fine. Like, I did that a lot with Pokemon for a long time, until I finally got into it with Sword and Shield. So, I get it. But then you have the questions that Trouz asks, and it's like, holy shit, how do you answer that?
Right? You can't.
That's why Zelda's so good, Thought provoking as fuck.
So
It really is such a good series. I really feel like if you haven't played it, you should. You should start somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You have a seal of approval here from us, Twilight Princess, great entry point.
100%.
Get that tavern seal of approval on there. Patent pending tavern seal of approval.
Yes.
or seals approving.
Anyways, guys, we do appreciate all y'all's time for being here tonight. We do greatly appreciate it. And again, if you want to hang out and spend more time with Bree and enjoy all that Legend of Zelda goodness, she is starting up her YouTube channel once more, youtube.com/MajoralyBrii. You can find all of her good stuff. We are doing a lot. She is like trying to do a lot of like randomizers on there, especially for Ocarina of Time. So go on there, give her some love. We always stream a lot of Ocarina of Time randomizers, so always hop on in, say hi, and just give that bit of love.
I shouted her out. I forgot my clip players on, and it's just her screaming her head off in the clip. There's your perfect introduction of Bree.
It's a Phasmo clip.
She tends to shit her pants a lot, just an FYI.
Just a
There
little
you
bit.
go.
Yeah, I do have the Twitch. I do stream on Twitch. I'm getting the gist of being in school and working full time, so I should be back to streaming hopefully by the middle of this month. So yay. And like Winter said, I do have YouTube. Right now it is just our randomizers. Eventually there will be playthroughs of different games, mostly Zelda.
There you go, perfect.
So if you want to get into Zelda and you just want to watch somebody, look out on my YouTube because that'll be happening soon.
Nice.
Let me go and I'm gonna post a link in your channel, Trouz.
Okay.
So yeah, there she be. So Bree, we want to thank you for being on here tonight with us. Bree will make a return to another future podcast. We already have things set up, and we're kind of working on the debate on that one. We kind of want to go into a little bit of detail on it.
I'll do a little hint. All right, this is a little hint. It has to do with monsters.
certain monsters.
Certain monsters, yes. Emphasis on the mon.
We'll be providing more information out to you guys later, and we will start to ask the community for questions regarding our future podcast, because we do want to hear from you guys. We do want to get some questions from you guys regarding this, because it's going to be a big ol' mess of a monstrosity.
God damn it.
I appreciate you guys. Bree, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you guys for
hanging out,
having
Bree.
me. I appreciate you guys having me. I had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And until next month, I hope you guys have enjoyed. You guys have a fantastic evening.
Good night, everybody.